Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back in positive territory this morning after a record-setting session on Monday. All three U.S. major indexes in record high territory after the House passed the bill once again for the COVID stimulus, including $2,000 individual payments in that bill. So positivity right across the board once again this morning. Record high territory right across the board once again this morning, even as, lots of money flying around, even as COVID-19 cases continue to rise. 184,000 new infections per day reported in the U.S., according to Johns Hopkins University. That data out after market yesterday, so still not good on the COVID vaccine cases count, but more vaccines to come. We have AstraZeneca possibly days away from getting both UK and Australia and India approval for their vaccine. We'll talk about that coming up. We saw some of the big name tech shares back in the lead once again yesterday. Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, to name a few, while recent high flyers, Peloton, Zoom, other kind of COVID names had big sell-offs yesterday. We'll talk about that. Alibaba shares back on watch as well, trying to bounce back after a two-session slide. We're going to have a look at Nikola Corporation again to the upside this morning after last week's decline, and some of the Chinese EV makers showing a little positivity in the pre-market this morning. It's Tuesday, December 29th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. Nice positivity right across the board here. We had Japan leading the way, 2.6% to the upside. Shanghai bouncing back nicely, 1.8%. Going to talk about Alibaba. Big slide again in Hong Kong. Hong Kong was higher, though, by a full percent. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up so far. Nice positivity top to bottom here as well. We'll shift over one more time, have a look at North American markets here. You can see the Dow and the NASDAQ leading the way there, 0.4% for U.S. markets. TSX futures here in Toronto back open once again after the holiday on Monday, 0.09% to the upside. Brazil's open, trading higher. We have Bitcoin. Little change, big move once again in Ripple. We'll talk about that coming up. Crude oil, 1% to the upside in gold. Back in positive territory as well. Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday, holiday shortened week once again. Friday off, guys. New Year's Day. We have New Year's Eve coming up on Thursday. Big move in Ripple this morning. We're going to talk about that coming up. We have a number of those little teeny tiny high flyer, low float stocks going crazy again this morning with little to no news. So we want to touch on that ACY from yesterday. Very, very dangerous stock. Hurt a lot of people. There's a couple more to watch out for today.
One of them, and good morning to everybody. One of them, I literally just saw UU with like just over $1 million float fill a 100,000 share order at 10, which at first I thought was not going to be legitimate, but someone actually just sold 100,000 of that, and good for them if they got $10 when it closed at $3. So we're going to talk about some of these AC. It is what it is. You saw what happened, and we were watching that ACY yesterday. Of course, when it opened back up, it opened to the downside. And we talked about on the way up, it's crazy, you should be selling it. If you have it for profit, understand that when, at some point, common sense does come into play, and they're going to come back just as fast as, or sometimes even faster than they rose. Before we get too deep into this, I have to give a shout out. I can't confirm whether it's true or not, but apparently Neil McHugh, you were the first like today. And you share my name, and you asked for it, so you get a shout out because you were the first like. Now, maybe that's a thing that we can start doing here, but I got to take your word for it. We're working with the honor system here, so definitely a shout out and a good thanks that you have a fantastic name as well. But there is a lot to watch this week. It's a holiday shortened week here, Sean. And let's not forget about some of the bigger names that are going to be in play today. Lemonade, lockup expiration. It's been moving for the last couple of days, and I know we've slept on that stock a little bit. Time to start looking at it again, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already into candy right now, KNDI, on some new report here with the Chinese bank. And yeah, it's already 40 cents in the money. So we hit the cash register for the free money from the U.S. government. And here you go again, your boy doing it right now. In at 780, in again at the top break of 820. Bang, bang, bang to the upside, and we keep going upside. So Brendan, here we go again, man. It's already siren alert time. Check the bottom on the board there. 55 cents in the money on KNDI, what the news story right now, and going to the upside. And we bought Alibaba yesterday after market at 222. So I'm feeling pretty good about where Alibaba is right now. Let's have a quick look at that one again on our watch list. Yeah, bought some at 222.80. I just double checked the account there, and yeah, just starting to nibble. Remember I told you guys third day we probably get the bounce, and this is the third day, and here we go, up 3%. So you're welcome, guys. Let's go try to take some of this profit on Candy before it disappears here, guys.
It's almost like they were waiting for us to come on and then release this news, but we can have a look here, guys, at my screen right at 8:30. 8:30 in 3 seconds there. Candy entering into a strategic cooperation agreement with the Agricultural Bank of China, talking about 300,000 possible units when it comes to EVs and battery swap models for a 5-year deal. So yeah, definitely positive for Candy. So KNDI off to the races early on this morning. Before we get too far into things, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brandon, and hello, traders. I wish you all a great, profitable day. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit thumbs up. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. We'll show you the top 10 traders from here at Day Trade the World yesterday. Another great day for lots of different markets here. We'll talk about Chicago, CME, NASDAQ, New York, OTC pink sheets as well, leading the way there, almost 51,000. More U.S., NASDAQ, and New York. Toronto obviously closed yesterday. We typically see some Canadian content in here. OTC pink sheets on its own there, 18,000. Nice to see there. Another nice mix of U.S. markets at number 5. So another, I got to go all the way down to number 9 here to get into Europe yesterday. Madrid and Spain and Switzerland, $1,100. $491 coming out of Thailand yesterday. Don't think I can remember the last time we saw Thailand on that list, but good to see. So another great day for traders here at Day Trade the World. Lots to talk about this morning. I want to start off in the crypto world, if we can, guys. Coinbase coming out. We mentioned there was the SEC investigation last week into Ripple when it comes to tax, not evasion, but some tax concerns. A lot of people buying goods and services with Ripple, but not reporting that in their income tax. So SEC launched an investigation into Ripple. Coinbase now, the platform, suspending trading in XRP. So big move down once again today, guys, on Ripple.
Yeah, that's obviously certainly concerning news. Either way, it seems to only be right now. It's only dragging on Ripple. Actually, one thing I was saying to Brennan when I came in, if you think about when heavy regulation starts to come into any sort of new or emerging industry or space, that's when winners and losers start to get picked. And it's not just, look, I'm not going to say, you know, what regulators are going to do or where this is going to pan out in the next like 6 to 8 months or in the next year. But you have to really start thinking about that's actually not a bad thing for the bigger players. And I think every time you see a story like this, you really should start thinking about why it is that Ethereum lagged the move to Bitcoin. You know, why it is when everything is at all-time highs and you're printing money and gold had the same breakout potential that Bitcoin did, Bitcoin made the move and is now continuing that move. And it's just one of those things that people say the word best in breed, but it just comes down to confidence. And you know, for all the reasons why gold happened to be gold for whatever reasons back in the day, it certainly seems like Bitcoin is that thing. And you can be a fundamentalist, you can be a true believer all you want, but a lot of times it just comes down to the name that people for whatever reason have confidence in, and it might not even be anything more than that. So, anyways, I mean, I'm not remotely that interested in Ripple personally. I think if you're going to be playing the crypto space because of the money supply and for fundamental reasons, it's got to be Bitcoin. It is what it is. We'll trade a little bit here today. There's not going to be too much of a drag in anything that we can actually trade here. Although, Sean, coming, and maybe I don't know if you have an update or not to put you on the spot or anything. We are supposedly getting the ability to trade some cryptocurrencies here at Day Trade the World coming in the new year. I don't know if there is an update on that timeline-wise.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but. Yeah, hopefully we get it, and we'll update you guys as well. Here's the chart of Ripple. Look, I've been saying for I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, that Bitcoin is a store of value. It's a better store of value, in my opinion, than gold, and you need to have it in your portfolio. I've been saying that forever. It is actively a couple percentage points currently of my portfolio, and I haven't added anything to it. It's been part of my portfolio since day one. It's part of my, on Twitter, it's part of my thing, crypto bag holder, so that's nice. And like I said yesterday, I went and unlocked the Trezor there, the wallet, and make sure that the Ethereums are still there, the Ether's still there, have Bitcoin as well. I do have some Ripple. I did buy some Ripple the other day around this 30-cent mark, just thinking that, hey, like, you know, maybe we've based out here. But then today, obviously, we're down to 20 cents, and then them getting, it's a very, very small portion of my portfolio, Ripple, that's for sure. I'm into Monero. I think Monero is a good one. And then I actually like ADA, Cardano there. So I do like that one as well. But we are a trading show, not a crypto show, but it is interesting. And on the trading side of things, oh, Canada, candy right now, 87 cents in the money right now off the 780. We did get out initially half of our trade rate there, and we keep ripping up. So candy makes me dandy early off in the morning, and we don't want to hit our goal too early because we don't want to get lazy, but that's not going to happen because there's lots to trade today. But here goes candy, guys, right to the upside. Hell yeah, follow us on Twitter. I posted this one up as soon as I took it, so hopefully you guys are in as well. Anyways, this is Candy, Brendan, a nice little dollar winner to start the day.
One that was kind of flying under the radar a little bit this morning. We put XPEV, Li Auto, and also NIO back on the watch list this morning as some Chinese EV makers kind of making moves in the pre-market, but that one wasn't. So that news definitely helping things for Candy. So we'll have a look at that coming up. Let's talk about these low float stocks a little bit before we get going here, guys. We'll get into the watch list coming up, but I want to mention that ACY from yesterday. What's it called again? Aero Century Corporation. There's a couple this morning. Anything that's kind of in that 1 to 1.5 million share float on the short side of things is going to be an absolute disaster for you. So there was a compliance update here. I mean, it's a lot of boring legal jargon in that note, but they did actually update their compliance as far as listing is concerned after what happened yesterday. So this thing, if we look at the chart, guys, all the way back to $8. This morning for this ACY, again doing volume in the pre-market. But I mean, let's talk about this move. This was the epic squeeze that we had yesterday from $6 up to $38. When a stock starts trading $5 at a time, if you get caught anywhere along this move to the upside, on the short side, you just cannot get out, and it's literally out of your control. It would open for a split second and then immediately halt again, and then be $5 higher the next time. Sean, you put out a great clip yesterday. We were discussing this on the show on Twitter, just to kind of reiterate the fact that these are very dangerous stocks. There's UUU this morning, and another one as well. Neil, maybe you can mention, but I mean, what do we think about this again today?
I put it out here on Twitter yesterday. Besides getting the symbol wrong, I put AUY. It's ACY. We corrected that right away, but we stayed back and made sure that we got this clip out, right? It's a minute 44. I was talking about it yesterday and how to trade it. And thanks for all the love, guys. Like 84 likes, 7 retweets, and 14 comments. Some of us went back and forth on here as well. And even here, Danny talking to her husband, thinks it's gambling, and then showed him this clip, and then he changed his tune. So thank you, Danny, for that one. I even mentioned Kevin O'Leary because he was talking about day trading being gambling and being too risky. Look, I mean, the whole thing with this ACY, guys, I said it yesterday in the clip, and it's not like I knew where this stock was going. But it was at $80 or $90, or sorry, $80, $90. It was at $30 yesterday when we were talking about this, right? So if I actually zoom this back, here it is right here, up to 30. Like, this is a stock that is broken, right? And we talked about it. I talked about it up here. Like, what are you going to do? Buy it at 31? Like, it's from $5, it just rips up. I'm not going to go on this rant again, but it's just, be careful when this stuff happens. Someone asked in the chat, like, what happens if you're caught short and it does this? That's exactly what happens. It's people getting blown out. It gets halted, you get margin call, the broker gets you out, and then you're screwed. And then, you're caught, whether or not you're short here, and you took a $20 loss on the short side, or you decide to sort of get that hope strategy. And that's what I was more talking about. We don't want to, pray that something is going to work, right? It's like if you're going long here at 25 off of a $5 stock, did something change in the stock where you think it's worth now 5 times what it was? No, it's just a mechanic and it's gambling. And that's fine as long as you understand that. I don't want to hate on traders that made thousands of dollars doing this. There's going to be another opportunity today that Neil's going to get to, right? But it's not trading. It's more, it's gambling. It's risky. But there's trades here. There are market mechanics that you can take advantage of. Just make sure that when you step in front of trains, you understand that you could get run over. There's easy ways to avoid this, and you can make money. Like, you get involved early. Like, how many stocks can you take from $14 up to $38 in 3 minutes, right? Or however long it takes with the halts. Not that many. So it's a great opportunity to make money, but it's also a great opportunity to lose a hell of a lot of money. Like, you go long at 30, man, you're stuck. It opens back up at 13. So you've just lost half your money right there. And you say, oh, I'm going to wait till tomorrow, see if it happens again. And now you're down to $8. So anyways, thank you for all the love on Twitter there. Let's just keep finding it, keep watching it. I know that's why you follow on Twitter and why you watch the show. Education for me is the most important. And I think this is an important lesson to learn.
Yeah, 100%. And the other thing to keep in mind here, because look, we're going to talk about UUU today. We'll talk about TCCO, some of these big time percent gainers, gaps, or whatever you would like to call them, whatever terminology, because they're moving. And you have to understand that here at Day Trade the World, we have access to some tools with direct market access, in and out, market on open, market on close orders, routing orders. So liquidity for us, it's easier for us to get in and out quickly. The reality is, for some of you traders out there, when you get caught, it's going to be very difficult for you to cover your positions. And you hear the stories, and we don't like hearing them all the time. And that's why when it was Kodak, it's actually not fun to hear stories about people getting burned on those. And every now and then, just because, as Sean mentioned, when there's no material change in the business, you have to ask yourself, how could it be up that much, right? I don't care what the news is. If there's no material change to what they do, it should move like that. Now, Kodak was a bit different because there was a material change. It was just ridiculously overvalued. So sometimes you can let the fundamentals play to it past a certain point. This one this morning and UUU, if I have to come in and look these companies up, Universal Security Instruments, no actionable news here, about $1 million and change of a flow, which is incredibly dangerous. Now, the difference between this, and there's a slight difference between this and from yesterday, AUY. It was just, I keep saying AUY, Sean, ACY.
Yeah.
you know why I say AUY. ACY there is ACY.
Yeah, I tweeted AUY.
But I know because we're familiar with that symbol, and ACY we'd never heard of. And that name, ACY, was actually relatively calm in the pre-market. It was doing what I would have expected, which was selling off, which was why I was up on that one before the market opened, because it made no sense. Okay, it should be shorted. That's what I'm going to look to do. Locate to a reasonable price as well, and it was trading orderly until it started breaking up, and that's when you just walk away from it until it comes back down. The difference here in UUU is it hasn't shown until maybe like 30 minutes ago. It hadn't shown any signs of that. It was only moving the aftermarket, gap up, still low volume, not coming back in, no sellers coming in, and then you get this parabolic move at 8 o'clock into some highs, and it's still trading 3x from yesterday's close. I mean, that $3 close, it's at $10 right now. So the rule of thumb I like to have is either it breaks the backs and then gives that parabolic halt, comes back in, halts down, and then actually starts trading with common sense, or you're simply waiting for it to crack below price. In this case, I'm right now looking at like a 950 area. We'll probably get into a little bit closer to the open or when it's going to matter. But it just falls past a point where the buying stops, or through what was kind of a support level where buying started, and that was about $8. Otherwise, you just don't stand in front of it. Like this is a name I wouldn't be shorting in front of the 1450 high. If it had held that initial high at 8 o'clock, or sorry, 6 or 7 a.m. at 10, maybe that's worth it. Because it isn't going quite parabolic. It hasn't gone totally crazy. And once things go broken, as Sean said, that's when you just walk away and wait for another opportunity.
There's a lack of liquidity. There's a lack of the ability to get out of a trade in that sense. So, guys, there's a reason that we look at stocks with fresh catalysts. There's a reason that we look at stocks that are doing volume for a purpose, that have volume, have liquidity, and that is to make sure that we stay safe. So we want to make sure that you stay safe as well. So a little look at ACY there, and this TCCO is even smaller than that UUU. So I'm hands off when it comes to those today. That is for sure. Let's get into what is moving around this morning, guys, in the pre-market. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you sign up for the watch list. Absolutely free to you every single morning. We send it out before we come on. This morning, it was so exciting that we actually sent it twice because we forgot a few. So you got two versions of the watch list this morning if you didn't need one already. So make sure you open the second one because there's a couple more names on the second one. We're going to start with Snap Incorporated this morning, guys. Getting a Goldman Sachs upgrade and price target increase to $70. This stock has been kind of quiet over the past few days and weeks, but $70 from 42 for Goldman Sachs on Snap.
I just got into Snapchat because I'm tired of this run. But look, I mean, it's just been a big company. It's been a big upgrade for them. They get Goldman Sachs today. They get a few other upgrades as well. They got Zacks the other day as well. So, I mean, this is just, down to 48 yesterday. A lot of the winners got paired off yesterday. We saw Chewy down 10%. You talked about this early on as well. And then there's Snapchat off. This report was just a monster. And it really rallied Twitter. It really rallied Snapchat, everything. And then I think this is a very, very timely upgrade. Good on them for doing this. I think it was falling down. They don't believe in that. They think Snapchat could still go. There's some intellectual property there that makes a lot of sense. I still think that they could be bought out as well. Who knows where this industry is going right now, but 47.70, 45 is the bottom. I'm in it right now. We're already in the money, 30 cents. Like, I just picked it up as we spoke right there, breaking. I wanted a 51 break. Like, everyone tweets at me and they love these sticky notes and they want more of these sticky notes. Look what's number one on there. Guys, this camera, there it is. This number one is Snapchat right there, 51. So I wanted to make sure that I got something in on this right now. So we're into Snapchat right here. I like the upgrade. I think it's clear sailing all the way up. We were back up here just 2 days ago to 51, 51.60. I think we have some resistance at this close of 51.60. That's right where we opened and bounced around before coming back down. But look, a base of 50. Like, if I can go long now and use this 50 sort of as a base and an out, maybe 49.80, I'm all over that. I do like Snapchat to the long side. I think it's in the right space and will continue to work. We also bought Alibaba. That's going to be on our list, but I just want to check out here to see, is Snapchat, I don't see Snapchat on here. So really, I think this can even go higher once they start putting in some of these marketable orders. Here we go, guys. Already raining down the cash, 50 cents on Candy, and here's another 30 right now on Snap.
Yeah, I came in Snapchat, sort of a similar thing. It's one of the first stocks I was looking at. The level I liked, and again, for this type of a break, I really only want it after the open, or at least at the open, and I was watching the 50.85 area. Typically, and this is only done about 280,000 in volume. You saw it not on the imbalance locator, so there is a decent shot that it might even give you that little pullback, so you can get for me at least, a more attractive price at the open, rather than trying to take this at 8:52 because we're 35 minutes away. And I've actually I don't know if I traded Snapchat before 9 o'clock, but if it's gone, it's gone. If it gets to like this 52 to 52 and a half area, it'll certainly be worth at least like a quick scalp to the short side, and then look for a dip off of that price. So I'll be looking for Snapchat at the open, 9:30 on any kind of a dip. If it's already come all the way back to 50, that's probably even better.
All right, guys, I was just reading a little bit more about this Candy Technology news. This is a line of credit agreement with this Agricultural Bank of China. So the Chinese government has a 300,000 pure EV battery swap model program within 5 years for ride sharing. So the government of China is backing this program to have 300,000 EV battery swap vehicles available for ride sharing in China within 5 years. So this agreement will provide the equivalent of $76.5 million US to Candy to support them in their efforts to be a part of that Chinese program. So a little bit of a circle there, but yeah, 76 or the equivalent of $76.5 million US on a credit line for Candy Technologies. So coming back in a little bit, but $8 a big level for Candy Technologies. Let's go to big tech. Big tech with big moves on Monday. Apple leading the way to the upside. Facebook, Microsoft, take your pick. They were all higher at the end of the session. For the first time in a few sessions, we kind of saw these names take charge once again, where some of the recent high flyers, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, had big down days yesterday. But again, this morning, we're seeing strength, guys. Apple, Facebook, take your pick this morning.
I mean, it's a rotation into quality, and I actually talked about that yesterday when we saw everything dropping, and I said, like, why are the stocks that I'm trading, like Palantir, Neo, and all this stuff dropping, yet the NASDAQ is all-time highs and up 1%? And then we just switched over to the big guys, and it was quite obvious, man, like starting at 10:20 or so, look at Facebook, made a bottom of what? 265, and then rips basically all day to close at, where's the close? I guess it dips down and then rips right back up into the close to close at highs. So when stocks close at highs, we like you a lot. So Facebook is going to be the stock that I'm going to be on today. Facebook's pretty volatile. I mean, sometimes the spread could be 5-10 pennies. Remember, these stocks are now like $300. So you got to be very weary of some of the moves, and you got to hold things a little bit longer. I'm trying to get better at that. You guys know that I scalp in and scalp out, but you got to hold some of these plays. And it's doing quite well today, Brandon. It's holding upside here. Microsoft is one of the largest positions in my portfolio, but I'm debating rotating. I just sold some Google a couple days ago. I'm debating putting some into Facebook here. 277.50. I wrote down 278 as a level, but now that I look at this, 277.50 is actually a lot better. And I just want to keep going long all these names. If they worked yesterday, let's see if they'll work again today. Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, they all look very similar, but I think Facebook is the one I like. I just like the catalyst a little bit more. Mark Roberts yesterday also talked about, what was their crypto called again? Not Lioncoin or something. We'll have to find out. But they were talking about bringing that back into play a little bit. And I think, you know, with payments and everything going through Facebook Shops, Instagram, WhatsApp, I mean, honestly, man, you know, if you're going to invest in something, I would just head right to big tech right now. There's just so many headwinds for them that I just tailwinds that I just think it's going to be an amazing move forward, and get them while it's cheap, to be honest with you. Yeah,
well, I mean, that probably is more the case with Facebook than getting well, it's cheap in Apple, which is of course at its highs. The interesting thing for me with Facebook was the simple fact that it's still trying to break past this like 280 level, which if you're waiting for like a little stronger confirmation to swing to the highs, maybe that's the level that you're going to want here if it breaks that 280. As far as the day trade goes, I actually think a solid base at 275, given the fact that it's actually opening on that high of day. If it does a quick rejection of that 277, it's an even dollar number. It's a pre-market high. Sometimes you'll see that little sell-off into an eventual break. So that's why I'd be looking at 275 there on Facebook. In terms of Apple, it kind of follows the market a heck of a lot, and it's almost like some days you should just be trading in the futures if you want to look at that name, but Facebook does stand out a heck of a lot. That TNX, just so you guys know, I took a quick position in this one. Not something I'm going to dig into, but below 220 looked interesting to me if it started to come back off, and this one has plenty of liquidity, unlike some of those other small caps.
All right, guys, let's have a look at upgrades and downgrades. A few of them anyways this morning. There's not a lot. Holiday shortened week once again. So wanted to mention this first off. Wells Fargo, we saw strength in the banks yesterday. So Wells Fargo today with an upgrade, 0.5% to the upside. Tesla with an upgrade today as well, 0.6% downside. Not really doing a lot. In the pre-market is Tesla. Yeah, there's Snapchat, 5%. The big one so far, Continental Resources here as well. A couple of smaller ones on this side of things. This therapeutics company, 38% on the downside. They had a COVID-19 vaccine that was actually halted in, the actual trial was halted in a late stage. So that was the reason for the 38% decline and a downgrade today, guys. Yeah. I mean, we looked at the bank.
We talked about Snapchat, so.
Yeah, I'm already in Snapchat long, already in the money, a quick 30 cents right now and 50 cents on Candy yesterday. You bring up WFC. Yesterday we had JP Morgan. I was watching this 126. We didn't take it, but we were watching this high of the day. And good thing we didn't take it because it does fade back through. If we do have any worries about the economy or anything like that, you don't really want to be in banks. But I'm not super worried about rates right now or anything with the economy. But I am looking at this level from yesterday where we sort of, I mean, maybe I can zoom. You know, let's call it 3 minute because we have these stupid wicks on here that I can't get rid of until I edit them. Yeah, see. So it's just this consolidation down here, 124.75 or so. I mean, it's 124.80. Worried about that breaking today if we do have a negative day. I just think that with the moves on these banks, I mean, look at the daily chart here, guys. This has been a nice, beautiful move. If this is not another reason, BFT would be one reason, so would Palantir, so slowed a lot. So would Disney. But I was pounding the table here, sub 100 on JP Morgan, and I just hope a lot of you guys picked it up. I was not expecting this kind of a rapid move back to the upside. This was a monster day, but up to 126 already. We still have highs of 140. I just wonder if this is maybe time to pair a little bit of this off, 126.75. So just watch out. I am a little nervous, and we'll be watching. That's 123.60, but I'm looking at these levels right here, 124.80, in case this does want to come back down. But I mean, we're at 126. All is looking good. I'm going to go get my water. I forgot it, guys.
Yeah, I saw Roki wanted to ask a quick question. You increased possible increased stimulus checks. I don't know that. It still has to go through where it's probably going to get rejected in the Senate. But if it were to happen, you got to think about that whole, I don't want to call it the Robin Hood effect, but you know what it is. Some of that money finds its way into the markets, and I think the quality names and some of the hype names, like maybe you get a second push in the EV space. Tesla, I'm going to have up here. We got that little upgrade. Either way, yesterday was a bit of a frustrating day in terms of trading Tesla. I did think it was going to be a bit of a bullish sentiment, and of course it did sell off. And then it's holding this 655-ish area in the pre-market. Only noteworthy, it was a previous sort of resistance spot if you go a couple of weeks or so ago. That's why I think if it actually can hold this level and catch a bit of a bounce, that might be finally worth a push. It's looking a little bit better in terms of actually trying to capture a long, but you got to be patient with it. This is not, I'm going to go long off the open in front of this 658 area. And just sort of throw the stop in and hope it goes to the upside. No, this is more about looking for that chance, and Tesla will make those moves at 9:45, 10 o'clock, 10:15, where it finds a base and then starts to go. I'm looking for that type of a trade, right? So if it just starts breaking to the upside, I'm not going to go ahead and chase it. Got a little too aggressive with Tesla yesterday, but the upgrade certainly helps as well.
All right, guys, we're going to get to Arun and have a look at the overall market here in a second, but I want to give a shout out to Nextech AR Solutions. A little bit of news on Nextech AR Solutions. This trades here on the Canadian markets in Toronto and also on the OTC markets in the U.S. Soon possibly to be upweighted to the NASDAQ. Nextech to buy 2 million in Bitcoin. So you can have a look at nexcf.pk. The bigger story here, though, CEO Evan Gappelberg going to be on our show coming up on Tuesday. So this news just coming out this morning, guys. Nextech AR to buy 2 million in Bitcoin. Yeah, Evan going to be on our show coming up on Tuesday to discuss that and many other things when it comes to augmented reality products that are coming in the future. So let's bring in Arun, have a look at the overall market here, see what levels we need to be aware of when it comes to the futures. Arun, what's up for today?
It looks like it's starting that way anyways. It's looking like it's going to be a quiet start to the open. These kind of days, it's kind of tough to trade because there's not a whole lot of reads that you can make. One trade I do have, or one level that I do have, 37.35. If we can find a long in front of it, I think I'll just look for the continuation. Of course, if we get that break, then I'm going to use the high of whatever that high ends up being whenever we get that break. That's the only trade I see. But you know what? We're coming to the end of the year. There's a couple days left. Apart from today's session, there's a couple days left. There's going to be fireworks at the end of the year, especially on the close on the 31st. I'm expecting a lot happening on that. So I'm going to be banking on that for in terms of volatility and excitement for days leading up to that. I am expecting something, but I mean, it seems to be quiet. Yesterday was mostly not tradable in terms of activity and volume. Today, again, I'm talking about the broad market, not stock specific. In terms of the broad market, it's looking quiet, but I mean, things can change very quickly after the open. So we are going to wait for the open to see how this plays out. But 37.35 on the bottom end. If we can find a trade in front of it, great. If we break it, also that's fine with me. I'll take the high as a stop if we get that break, and below that we have 37.10, which was in play yesterday as well. So only two levels to work with, but I am waiting for some excitement towards the end of the year, and hopefully we'll get that soon.
Yeah, I want to make sure we do discuss that, Arun, before we get to Thursday, but we can leave that for maybe tomorrow or Thursday morning. But a lot of things going to be happening going into that final trading session of the year on Thursday. We'll talk about why and how we can approach trading it. But great stuff as always. Thank you, Arun. We'll touch base again tomorrow morning as we head towards the open, guys. Going to be a busy end of the week. Wednesday, Thursday, especially. Lots to look at when it comes to the overall market. Let's get back into what is moving around in the pre-market this morning. Next on the watch list is Nikola. We talked about Nikola yesterday because this thing had a big move to the upside finally after a few days of selling. So you can see yesterday's action, 1380 up to 16.5. We're gapping up another 3.5% today for Nikola, guys.
This might just be a good opportunity to get out of Nikola, honestly. Like, I mean, I don't know what to do. We've been trading it pretty good the last couple of days, just going short. I remember getting short, on a lot of these breaks. And then yesterday, I know Neil had this break to the upside. I just threw out. Oh, here we go. I threw out my list from yesterday. Well, there it is. I just ripped it. But I had Nikola here, 1425. It doesn't matter. Yeah, who cares? 1425 there yesterday, and there's that break. I unfortunately wasn't watching it, but how good was that? I mean, all the way to 15. That's a smooth dollar, and then we came right back down to almost that exact same level of 1450, and then ripped another dollar. So basically $2 from that 1425 to end of the day on its highs of 1650. So that was a $2.25 move off that first key level. And yeah, great trading yesterday in Nikola, to say the least. And then right now today, we're right back upside again, 17, like pushing the envelope here, I think, on Nikola a little bit. 1705, 1720 as the highs. There is going to be something right around here, 1650. So I did want to watch that, possibly reload or get short on this level. So I just want to see the action that's coming here. If this is just a huge move down right into this level, then I think we can buy and use 16. If it kind of hovers around 1650, 1640, and then we get the break, then I like the short much better. So for right now, I think we can sort of defend this 16 level. But yeah, man, if you're long and even in the money right now on Nikola, I would say you pair some off and then maybe start playing a little bit with house money, because this name is just, I mean, so what? They have like one factory or something. I don't even, they're getting, if you have contracts canceled and you're a car company without really a product, I don't really see the upside for Nikola from here. As a day trade, maybe, but just watch out, man. I just think that this is, again, off of a 20% move or whatever this was yesterday, and you get another 3 today. I think that's a gift horse, Neil.
And let's remember, this was a contract that essentially canceled. That when they got it, they talked about how important it was. It was key for Nikola. So let's. Yesterday the move, I sort of described it, and whether it was a short squeeze or not, that's certainly what it appeared to be to me, and what Nikola tends to do after a couple of down days. You do get an upgrade here, which is the only thing giving me some pause, in terms of just saying, okay, well, it entered right into this target range where there was lots of chop, 1750, rejected that price. I should be shorting off of this level, right? So my first thought is to come in and short off of this 1750 right into this consolidation here at 17. I'm going to stick with that plan, hopefully at the open, but it's not I don't want the breakdown trade. I just feel like I don't want to get shaken out of that one. But it's this range that I really was looking toward to play. And if it's already come, and gone, and I'm not going to chase it. There's still 25 minutes to be open, so I'm trying to preach a little bit of patience with Nikola. When it was a squeeze, I didn't mind taking it to the upside early, but I'm not going to be doing that here with about 20 minutes to go to the open. But I do like to short off of that 1750 as a first look. If that breaks, maybe it squeezes again.
All right, guys, we were seeing and noting some relative strength in the pre-market early on from some of the Chinese EV makers. Candy, obviously, with news now moving higher, but NIO, XPEV, and Li Auto all back to the downside now. You remember they had big moves down. We can have a look at Li Auto first here. Still positive. The only one that remains positive at this point, 0.7%. But all three had this type of a move to the downside to start the week on Monday. If you go back, rewind the tape to the beginning of the month, the Chinese government out announcing an investigation into the space. We haven't heard any kind of update from this on the so-called investigation into the space in China. But these three specifically have had quite the slide to the downside. Neil maybe excluded. The other one's more negative at this point, but maybe a bounce is due here.
So that was my thought coming in here, and what I was sort of talking about. I mentioned briefly in the morning note tweet that Neil's been trying to find its legs, slowing down the move a couple of times in front of 46, and then now hopefully in front of this 42 level. You had that story yes, we've seen the Chinese government cracking down both ECA and financial, and then the EV space was a little bit earlier on in the month. That being said, there's still just a gigantic opportunity in China when it comes to adapting the electric vehicles relative to anywhere else in the world. Less legacy combustion vehicles there in infrastructure, so the changeover is going to be a heck of a lot easier, a much bigger market. And so all of these things are working in one of these companies' favor, and a lot of people tend to think it's NIO. I can't disagree with that at all. It's really just this 43.50 area that if we hold this off the open, and it doesn't even seem like right now, it's actually struggling to do that as we speak. If we can hold this off the open, there's a deeper possible support at 42. But if we hold that, I just like it for a bit of a bounce. If it dips through this 43.50 and then snaps right back, I'd try to buy it back on the way up. I know the dip buys can be good in an IO. It's just forming a bit of a wedge here at this little bottom, I'm hoping, and then we can see if we can get pushed to the upside. 44 was yesterday's close, so psychologically that's going to be a bit of a level as well. But the day that NIO makes its little bounce and maybe tries that retrace or the movement back up to that psychological 50 level, certainly the day that you want to get involved, and buying the dip usually works out a little better than getting those little failed breaks, which kind of set you off in the wrong start of the day, and then you miss the actual move.
Yeah, so yesterday I think I made over 50 trades on NIO and was not good. We got one. This is Nicola. I'm short Nicola there. A couple pennies in the money now. But that's what I was looking at when we started this segment. But okay, so 43.60. Yesterday, we tried to catch this falling knife in here somewhere, and then we got out down there. We were able to get a nice little long back, but then wound up losing on our last 20% back to the downside. And NIO actually yesterday, guys, closes on its low. I mean, pretty much on its low. I mean, its low is ultimately 43.60, but we closed yesterday, right here. 43.95, and then today we're even lower again. I'm not going to be catching a falling knife on this one today, I do not believe anyways. This is NIO. We're right near this 50-period moving average of 42. I like that to start some longs. I still believe in the EV space. The only thing is, it's just like how I started picking in at Tababa. You guys know where we were long 262, and then yesterday we bought some 222 to get a better average price in the longer term account. And I just think that if you're the same thing on NIO, I just think you may start getting some institutions, just like today we got that upgrade on whatever it was, Snapchat, when Snapchat fell back. Look at NIO right now. Look at this chart right here on a daily, making highs, right? 58, then coming back in right now to this. Look at Snapchat right here as well, if I can get that to load. And here it is, similar charting, here's Snapchat, going up to its high of 55, pulling back to about 48 or so before catching that upgrade back upside. Now it's a little further away. 44 was where the VWAP was, where the moving average was on a 48. So you do have about $4 difference there. But NIO, right now, if people believe in this stock, I think this is where it will start catching upgrades. And this is not a bad spot to start getting long. I think I'm going to do that. Whether or not you're pro or anti the Chinese government or whatever they're doing over there, NIO is backed by them. They have that unbelievable backstop. We saw that down here when they came in with I don't know how much money they came in to support the company with, and then now it's off to the races. They're delivering cars. It's the right space. I like NIO, but this is a trading show, and for a day trade, man, this is going to be a slippery slope today. Just watch out. We're breaking out of all of these levels right now. We're near lows, and just I won't be catching this one on a down spike unless we get to like that level 42. Then I'll start buying.
All right, guys, let's go to Boeing next. No significant news. We knew this was coming, but American Airlines set to resume regularly scheduled flights between Miami and LaGuardia in New York this morning of the 737 MAX airline. So as I said, we knew this was coming, but today's the day. Boeing in positive territory, only 1%, but nice little pop to the upside as we get back, or the 737 MAX anyways, gets back into the air regularly.
Yeah, and I'm going to apologize because my 15-minute chart has a bit of a dark pool print that goes way down. I wish it traded at 145. Of course you'd love to get Boeing at that price or at that 90 bottom that was missed by many. Either way, this is, like Brendan said, this is not necessarily going to be a catalyst. I mean, Boeing is probably going to have announcements, something along those lines of going into the future. There was a real opportunity when this based out and gave you this 175 pullback that we talked about, and I think the next one is going to be into this 190. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to sell off or push down to that, but it's been slowly grinding down towards this price. And if it gets to like 200, probably worth an idea of getting some back in here. We talked about the merits of being in an oligopoly for Boeing. It's Boeing and it's Airbus. And at some point, things will get somewhat back to normal. You saw the way travel was in the U.S. People are trying to find ways to get back to their regular lives, and certainly Boeing's going to catch a little bit of this coming into 2021. It does feel like if it gives you any kind of a shot at that 200 or some kind of sideways action in front of that 190 to 200, you're going to want to be picking it up. I plead patience here. As far as the day trade, I don't even see one necessarily on Boeing today. I mean, I wouldn't rule out watching if somehow it's making a big time move. Then 220 could be a little bit of a break, but I'd revisit that a little bit later on in the session. I think it's more patiently waiting for a further dip.
Yeah, so same thing. I didn't really see too many levels. I just want to call up a 20-minute chart here on Boeing. We are long this name, and we're long right here at 217. We talked about that. We've been like that for about a month. You can see I like this break, but it has to come. It has to come to 224. Otherwise, I think Boeing just relaxes. It's in this little area. We all knew the 737 was eventually going to take flight, right? So this is no real surprise. I think it just starts creeping. I can't believe I was long and I didn't get out up there. But I think this just creeps up higher and higher and higher. I like this play. We've talked about Boeing a couple of times. I think it's made a bottom already. If we can ever get long again near 200, we should do so. But right now, guys, 224 on a reopen play. I don't think Boeing might not be the trade today, although you never know if we get up to I'll tell you what this is exactly. It's 223.50. So I wrote down on the sticky note 224, but it's 223.50 the more I look at this. So yeah, let's take a long if it breaks above 223.50. That's still like a long ways away here. It's not that we're getting anywhere near there. Quick check because you guys love it on the imbalance locator. Yes, sir, Alibaba. Oh, and Carnival. We don't have Carnival on our list today, but that's up another 2.5% and making highs right now, 22.20. So we look at Carnival as the market opens. But yeah, no Boeing on here yet. I know everyone's loving this guy down here. BFT, let's go, PaySafe.
Yeah, they struggled a little bit yesterday compared to the airlines, cruise operators, that is, but good to see them back to the upside. No real significant news when it comes to cruise operators, but we'll keep an eye on them. Let's go to Walt Disney next, guys. There we go, 1,000 likes, great stuff. Walt Disney, Bloomberg reporting, citing Sensor Tower research firm data. Walt Disney had 2.3 million global installations of its mobile app over the Christmas holiday. That's a 28% increase year over year, better than expected. We also had Disney now up 44% on the quarter. The best performer in the Dow 30 for this quarter, guys.
Yeah, the thing about Disney that makes it fantastic is you get that whole recovery because of the parks. But then you also have the streaming, which they're all in on and absolutely crushing. So it's turning. I'm not comparing it to Apple because that's just kind of ridiculous. But in terms of being robust to many different outcomes for 2021, Disney has it. 180 was a breakout point. I say was because we're trading a couple of pennies above that price right now. If we can hold that, I think it's going to make that nice little ramp up push to 200. So as far as the day trade goes, I'm looking to play a break at 181, and then you have that psychological 180 level to just basically hold on to there. And if it makes another push like we saw in the last couple of sessions, the risk to reward looks pretty good. If it doesn't make that break of 180, I'm not doing anything until it gets down to about like 175 or so, and then I would look for a bit of a buy. That's as far as the day trade goes for me. It's going to be very binary here on Disney. Hopefully it's just a clean 181 break.
Yeah, Disney's anyways drinking right now. Getting hydrated. You know that Disney's a good stock. When my kid comes yesterday, 18 years old, and asked me, should he finally buy some Disney? I was like, you missed the boat. I mean, he's long in Apple and everything. I think you might have missed the boat a little bit on Disney if you're not long. We had Mark on yesterday. We talked about it. We were buying this all the way down, and now Disney today breaks through that 180. Like, wowzers, man. What a monster this stock has been. And again, I think it's rocketed maybe it's one of my top 3 holdings now, just where it is. And I asked Mark about pairing some off and going into cash. I don't know. I mean, I don't see why, if this is 2 to 3% of your portfolio and you still like it, why you can't keep your money in there. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold this for a little while. You do have some consolidation here. If we get below 165, that's where I think maybe I'll start pairing some off. But right now, Disney just continues to work. And if you go back, again, these wicks, man, are really painful. But if you see yesterday's open, we kind of, it's pretty choppy. You don't have any like really clean moves. You do bounce off VWAP a couple times. And so just to note, like VWAP is 177 here. It goes down to 176, 985, 80. So it doesn't break from VWAP too much. So I think that's what we'll probably look at today. We are below right now. But again, remember, volume weighted, right? So you don't have too much volume here in the pre-market. So this will adjust as we go. But I guess a 180.50 break, I don't know. Again, I'm not super excited with the Christmas volume right now, guys.
All right, guys, let's go to Alibaba next. Finally snapping a 3-session slide over in China overnight, ending the session sharply higher. In fact, the company's Ant Group arm came out and said they're going to fold their financial operations into a holding company, which will be regulated more like a bank to satisfy regulatory and government kind of inquiries into the possibility of a monopoly being formed by Jack Ma and his multiple companies. So Alibaba back in positive territory finally here.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I said on the show again yesterday that you'd get a third. Normally, it's a third-day bounce. This is the third day now for Alibaba, and I was just tweeting it out right now that we did buy yesterday 222. We didn't even get the best price. We got 222.83. It was like in and around here. I bought it in the afternoon, and now you get the bump back to the upside. Why did I buy? Obviously, there was that third day, and I can't sit here and preach to you guys and then not do it. That doesn't make any sense, right? So off of a strong day yesterday, I just thought that we had made that bottom again 2 days in a row. First day was 212, second day was 215. Then you get that rally up, and then we hold a base of 220 all afternoon. So I thought it was relatively risk-free just to dabble in a little bit into this. So I added another third into my position. So for example, if I was holding 100 shares, I bought 30 more at these levels. So, and I want to buy it continuously going up. But again, because the Chinese government is in the building, I'm not sure what they're going to do with this stock or any of these Chinese names. So I'm not pairing any off. This is for my retirement, which is like 80 years from now, apparently. 232 to the high side. But yeah, I think this keeps going. There is a market imbalance there. I don't think I'm going to go long right away. I want to see if I have the right idea or not. I don't want to be influenced by just going long. But you do have this 228 break. I think 4% maybe is possibly a little bit overdone. So watch out to the short side here, 228. Basically, it's a 229 break, it looks like, Neil.
Yeah, my only concern with Alibaba here is that in terms of ants, this is actually a little bit of bad news, and it's good in that they're taking action. Certainly a proactive action here against possible regulations coming in. But this would sort of limit the upside potential for some of Ant Financial's businesses, especially a high margin side there. So I would be a little bit concerned with that because, of course, Alibaba having a third stake. And there could be some tailwinds there. So I'd keep the ears to the ground to see how this actually all flushes out. When I read it this morning, it was just a little bit of speculation. I don't know how firm everything was. But that's the only area of caution I would have on BABA, because I feel like if there's any hiccups that come along with Ant's plans, you're probably going to be getting some dips in BABA that if you're patient, you can just wait for those to happen. So I'm not 100% sold. There aren't going to be some further opportunities to come back to the downside because this is a developing story.
The lockdown expiration day for Lemonade. 44 million shares going to be eligible for sale when the market gets open here this morning. We're actually, I'm just noticing here, significantly higher now in the pre-market. It was lower initially, but all the way back to this 114 level from yesterday afternoon. This thing's had quite the tumble heading into this date in anticipation of this sale coming. So lockdown expiration, maybe we can explain that a little bit and also talk about what to do with this today.
Yeah, we did a video on this, and I think it's always fun when the more simple case does come to be true. So in anticipation of that lockup expiring, you basically make a top. You can see this like 140 level, and of course Lemonade, the 3x, whatnot. I mean, it's been a fantastic story. Certainly made a lot more sense at 65 and 70 than I even said it when it broke 100. I'm like, yeah, it's a good trade, but probably should pick some up. Anyways, if it pulls back in from here, it should be expected, right? A couple of days leading into that expiration, people are saying, oh, it's going to sell off. So let's take some profit because it's up so much. Now, this is not, sell the news is the term, but in this case, this could be some shorts buying back in that caused that spike back up at 8 o'clock. Sometimes you will see these dumps of liquidity right at 8. Sometimes they're at 7 a.m. We've seen it time and time again, so it's not terribly surprising that it would come in the opposite direction here. Maybe some shorts certainly covering. My first thought is at the open, you could see a bit of a sell. So I'm watching this 115 level, which is bouncing into. So if it is going to sell through, I think you have a little bit of an area to work off of. But now that this is done, Lemonade could resume its rise. If it gets to 100 again, I'd look to be buying. But I want to be playing off of that short just for an early momentum play. The only problem with Lemonade, C3 AI has been similar the last couple of weeks here, is liquidity. Every time I've ever traded the stock, liquidity has been a concern in the first 20, 30 minutes if you're taking a breakout style trade. So it's a little different trying to fade off of a key level than trying to execute as a level breaks. And if 115 is a stop, then you care about that executing. So crossing a little bit deeper and anticipating you might, instead of losing like an extra 30 cents in slippage, on Lemonade, it might be 50 cents, it might be 70 cents. So as long as you factor that into your risk management, you should be fine.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I'm getting ready, locked and loaded to make some trades here as we open. I'm looking at Facebook. We still got Snapchat, Candy, and Nicola, all winners right now, guys.
All right, guys, a couple more to go here. Let's get through SAP SE. They bought Qualtrics, which is an experience management software company, in 2018 for $8 billion. News out yesterday afternoon that Qualtrics will be spun off into its own publicly traded company through an IPO. So two things here. We have another rather large IPO coming that's to look forward to. They're saying 14 to 15 billion in valuation on that. And also SAP up big time on this news today.
Yeah, one of the IPOs probably a little more interesting to me. Uh-oh, my chart froze here. I was trying to show SAP there. So I can't, I'll have to close it and show the levels, but unfortunately, there wasn't a heck of a lot to look at, but I mean, I was watching it over in Germany. It's trading rather nicely. We don't usually trade that name in particular. For me, that story was more about the upcoming IPO, Brennan.
Yeah, SAP, I mean, we did have a major downgrade not too long ago from 150 down to 105 there on some worries about earnings and where the space was going. This one down here, what a buying opportunity that was. I'd rather be in Salesforce, but yeah, the IPO is not super interesting to me until it actually IPOs, but yeah, nice little, I mean, it's only up 0.74 today. So, but we did get some movement into the stock yesterday. You see a nice little move from 128 up to 132, just as the market closed. So that's probably the news right there. So it's already baked in. So for me on 19,000 shares, Brendan, hard pass.
Very good. Let's go to Nano Dimensions, guys. The next one, NNDM. We were talking about this one. I should have zoomed out a bit here. You can see the gap to the downside. We had a big gap down yesterday. You can see on the daily chart on an offering. So they priced their recently discussed offering. We're back to the upside today, 6%. A couple of things to watch here. $9 to the upside, which is this kind of consolidation on the daily chart, and then above that, the very high, about 950 to 975. The reason this is kind of exciting is because they kind of reiterated their 3D printing capabilities in the EV space. Remember, that was what ignited this initial move on this stock. We went from $1.52 all the way up to $9.50 when they said they make 3D printers now that can manufacture and print different components for EVs, guys.
And a couple more names that are actually on our watch list. I mean, this TENX, 10X Therapeutics, they actually got an initiation for a small cap like this. We don't usually have a story like this. They got an initiation starting with, I think it's a buy rating, and this is from H.C. Wainwright. But this is a micro cap stock. Now, I was watching a 220 level. I shorted off of it, covered, and then watched it retest this 250. If it breaks off, it bounces off of VWAP, and this is that same 220 level. This one would have all the signs of doing something a little bit crazier, like UUU, which I'm staying away from at this current moment. But its volume is really good, and the liquidity is at 28 million. So if it makes a break through the top, that could certainly change. For now, it's at least trading with some sense. If it breaks below this price, this 220, and gets through this 210, I'm really going to like it. Try to dig in after the open, but it's not quite there yet on TENX, showing some signs of weakness. I've basically just been making back what I lost in my initial short. And the other one I am watching, someone asked, why aren't you looking at OCGN? Yeah, that also looks weak again today, but a 210 break is what I was waiting for. If it tests the top and I can get a better price, I'm not shorting it here, but 210 break I like on OCGN. I'm just waiting for it to happen.
Okay, I'm just putting a bid downside. I didn't even realize this about Facebook. Just dropped down there to 276. Wow.
No, oh my.
It was hanging out there for a while. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're doing these reviews, guys, and it's great. Like right now, Snapchat, we just talked about that. You want to talk about some money early on, guys. Hit the chicken dinner winner to start the show. What a good start it's been for me here today. So far, 70 cents now in the money on this 50.75 break. I just tweeted out it was a 51 break, but that's the number I was looking at. But we are long here at 50.75, so that's a nice little win all the way to the upside here to 51.48. Good trade there. And then Candy as well. We're long and in charge. Someone asked, what happens with our software is when I get in here and out there, it then takes this price as my average price. It actually doesn't average them to begin with. It just gives you your last out. It's like first out, last in, last out kind of technology and thinking. So it doesn't give you an average price. It takes your first piece out. Now you're holding that piece. So that's where that is. And then Nicola, I'm short here, and I have some orders to get more short up above 17, and then using like 17.50, I believe, as an out. So we're going to try to trade the short side to Nicola. So right now, 3 for 3 and getting even better here as Snapchat keeps going. I do want to get longer Snapchat at the bottom. Let's go.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not touching that UU, but we got to drop that countdown. Miss V is on the bell this morning. A little bit delayed there, so it's going to be a couple seconds behind. There's the peace sign. Market is about to open. It is that Tuesday. Watch out. That 10X just made a move to the upside. 3, 2, 1, and market is open. Lemonade looks like it's immediately going to be selling to the downside, so I'm not going to get that 115 area short. If it breaks 110, that could get very, very interesting for us here. OCGN's about to break downside. 10X broke down. Sorry, I said up, but I meant down. So that's about 20 pennies in the money, that 10% return we look for.
Okay, so Facebook, we're in early right now, 277.60. So a nice little move upside on this knock. Trying to go, man. If we get 278, we may get out of a little bit of Facebook as it's trying to go. Snapchat, we did average in 51.07. Is it even open yet? I don't know, but here goes Snapchat. A nice little average in at this bottom 51. Let's see how high this one wants to go. Let's take some out. Good trades.
Lemonade gives that bid of a buy into that 115 level, but the spread is, of course, crazy. The bid is 112 here right now, so that's like a couple of bucks. I mean, immediately we're taking $2 just by it hitting the bid. So that's what's going to happen over here in Lemonade. Got to be a little bit careful with it. We anticipated some selling off the open. That's why we shorted in front of 115, guys.
Guys, $1 right there. Chicken dinners already for Snapchat. 277.50 out. 278.57. $1.20 there on that trade. So that's going in the money for us nicely. Nicola downside. See ya. Down to 16 and change. So a nice little one as that one keeps going. Hit the sirens on this. Let's get out of a little bit here at 28 if we can on Nicola. There it is. A nice little out there on Nicola. Snapchat making moves to the high side again, guys. We're long at 11s. Let's see if it can hold the bottom. The market thinking about going downside, though. That's my Nicola chart. We have Snapchat we're trying to talk about right now. Here's Snapchat, 51.11. What a big trade this is. Back to the highs. Wow, big time alert right now on Snapchat.
Nice move there on Snapchat. I just finally got that short into OCGN. It just goes right to the downside. Someone asked, why aren't you shorting it? I said, hey, I am going to be looking to short it, just waiting for my move, and that was a 210 break. I'll show you the higher time frame where we got that level from, but it's breaking 2 even as well. Facebook, I liked 276, but I missed it on the way down there pre-market, Sean. I actually picked some up at 277 there, and I'm going to dig into some more shares, but OCGN is cratering. I'm glad we managed to get this one to you a little bit late, but it's certainly been on the radar, and it is falling off now, down 15%. It's showing weakness. It's 2 days in a row, lower highs. And then it holds this consolidation right off the bottom. This was that yesterday action, 210 the bottom. Easy short break through that price, and an obvious one, guys.
Yeah, you want to talk? I mean, look at Nicola, guys. I mean, we took this at 16.80. This is $1 now in the money as the market goes down here a little bit for us. You can see here, Facebook, we took $1. Now we're out of the money, 80 cents. So this one just keeps on making its moves downside. We will average more into this one at 276. But there goes Snapchat. Look at this trade, guys. And guess what? Goal reached. Let's go, Brendan.
Not a lot going on in the vaccine space today, guys. We did have a little bit of positivity on AstraZeneca. This one, though, was actually in negative territory. Moderna, look at this move right from the word go this morning. 170.5 up to 111.5 for Moderna, guys.
And a bit of a break to the upside on Lemonade. And I meant to get out of half of this when it broke that 115 and went long. I ended up getting out of all of it in front of 116. So you take the short, a couple times got out for $2. It comes back in. I'll lose 75 cents in the final third. Reverse long, but only make about 50 pennies because I got out too soon. Either way, this is the issue with liquidity when it comes to Lemonade, guys. You have to pay attention and very, very closely there. I'm going to check in on Tesla just because we were looking for an opportunity to consolidate off that 658 level. It dipped into that price and then came right back to 662. So far, so good. It looks like Tesla is holding. I'm not going to jump and buy it too far away from that price if it can hold this area here. I think I was looking at about 10 o'clock, that type of a deal for Tesla. Facebook back to flat for me. I have 77.15 here, but I'm looking for a bigger move back into that 80 range.
Okay, yeah, we're doing everything right now, it seems like, anyways. With Nikola, 75 cents in the money. Snapchat, we just took some out right there, guys, when we hit that goal. I mean, we're not going to not take some of this out. What a great reload in there. And then look at this, guys, hovering around 51 and change. Taking that trade and just bank city on that, guys. Just making bank on it as well. Candy comes all the way back down. We'll wait, man. We're already out of that one. This is a very light trade that we took. I don't really love this name today. It's not really moving, but we did take that one trying to make a hero play on that. Let's check back in on our Alibaba. You guys know we're long 222 from yesterday. Coming back down. Watch out for this level. 229 basically on a drop off. I'm looking at you, 229 straight in the face. Let's see what does happen there. Snapchat pulling back. Let's get out of a little bit more. We're into 20% left only.
Yeah, and the warning, of course, was, and the last thing I said before we opened was stay away from UUU. It just halted to the upside, so here we go. If you're caught in this one, I mean, consider getting. If you're short, you shouldn't be. I just don't know how you could be. But if it does make a break past 1450, of course, is likely to get very, very crazy to the upside. If somehow it manages to open lower and consolidate off 11 and make some sense, then I might look at it. But until that happens, guys, I'm staying well away from it. It halted just like we anticipated it would to the upside. Brendan.
One we mentioned yesterday, guys, Bionanogenomics, BNGO, back at it again today, testing $1. We came up to $1 and failed yesterday on positive news. So we're right back up there again on decent volume, 2 days in a row for BNGO, guys.
All right. I don't really have, we'll look at bingo in a minute. 1585 now. Nicola's still pushing bottoms, man. We were short right there. We tried to we didn't try. We put orders up here. I mean, it didn't come in. We should have probably taken out that bottom, 1660. Instead, we got out 1620. Now let's watch. I mean, if we break Nikola back down even more, we do have some spots here. This is a little bit of an area to get out, maybe 1560, but now we're retracing. We're not retracing that much back up. We're still on its lows, but I just want to bring this back out. We do have 1540. Ooh la la. I was going to ask for a Timmy's, but I'll take that. 1550 back down to the downside here. Oh, yeah, Tim Hortons. I'm not allowed to talk about them, so maybe let's trade some QSR, guys. To the downside right now comes Nikola. Bang! We did it again, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, and as soon as Brendan mentions bingo, I missed this one off of a dollar retracement yesterday. I'll play the same thing, but this is exactly the move that happened on it where it tested above $1. It wanted to be a non-penny stock and then failed off of 102. This time 101. If I can get the shorts off of this high, I'm going to definitely take it to the south side here. Also looking for re-entry into 10X and OCGM, which both look fantastic. Brendan.
I'm going to have to mind the dark print here, but day highs for Boeing. Doesn't look like much, but trust me, just made a day high there on a volume spike for Boeing. So we saw the gap to the upside and now pushing higher, guys. 220 coming into play for Boeing.
Okay, yeah, we talked about, I mean, I like the long there at 224 break, and it's not there yet, so we'll wait on that one. But here comes Nikola, guys. We're still on the same name, same game, short side. So let's just hold Nikola and see what we could do with this one. I like this one, obviously, to the short side. We've talked about that a little bit here. So I'm going to hold that. Snapchat, we're seeing if that one wants to go as well. Snapchat right now, 97 cents in the money, 52.40. We're going to put an order out there to get out in case that does happen again. Big time win right now with Snapchat.
Snapping to the upside. I absolutely love it. The thing I love about the Snapchat trade is you have the positive catalyst behind it. It's one of those sort of hold opportunities for you there. Now, I'm trying to do the same thing on this one, which worked the money for us at OCGN, but I did not get in. It ran away from my order at 207 at VWAP, and a slight correction. Every time this happens at a massive sort of drift price or breakdown, forget about getting VWAP. Got to just start the short 2 or 3 pennies above or whatever it is. That's the way you get into that trade. You don't want to miss out on it when the opportunity is there. Facebook, just to go back into this, I was looking for a dip into that 276 area. It actually came in the pre-market when I wasn't paying attention. This time, I do actually have it 76.91 is my current price. If it gets anywhere back above VWAP, I'd start pairing off in the 277.80 range. So we're looking for about $1 in the first little bit, and then see if it can't retest the highs. Brendan?
I mentioned this one during upgrades and downgrades, guys. ARCT just falling off the planet here. Sliced through 50 like it wasn't even there on the initial test. But big move down 50% now after their COVID-19 vaccine kind of failed in a late stage trial, guys. So this is what happens. A couple of downgrades for this one as well.
Okay, yeah, upgrades and downgrades. Snapchat still now back to days high again. So we have 5% left. The cash register, that is Snapchat, continues, man. We haven't done any work with Palantir in a couple days. I'm still holding that. We're out of some of our shares. We've talked about this all time. And we talked about it yesterday as well. Some of these high-flying stocks, like I bet you if I go over and look at like Roku or maybe even Chewy, we could be down today on those stocks as well. We'll have a check on that. But right now, we got to find some bases for Palantir. And if we go in, this is already a 3-minute chart. Maybe you just stop there at 24.50. We got to do a little bit more work on them to see what we're doing with Palantir. But yeah, this is that level. I want to start buying around 22, 23. It's getting ready to do that right now, guys.
Yeah, and making a bit of a push here, Facebook. It's got about 50 cents of money. Like I said, I want like closer to $1 for that first move before we're going to get out of some shares there. We didn't talk about Virgin Galactic, but that's been a bit of a mover. It's flat on the day today, but let's very, very quickly. It's been squeezing to the downside here and about to test yesterday's low at 23.60. So watch out for a bit of a break on a pullback in Virgin Galactic. If we get a shot to short the break, it might be SSR still from yesterday. So let's not be able to hit the bid, but we'll try to get that break at 23.60. Brendan?
A little one moving again today. DTW Holdings, we mentioned this yesterday. Big pop to the upside on $1 million contract for that Coolisis arm of theirs, which they own, but back to the downside, just broke $5 on volume for DPW, guys.
You know what? And Brendan, maybe you can fact check this for me. I think DPW owns a portion of UUU. You know what, guys? Don't take that. Like, hopefully, we can quickly check in on that, and maybe it's moving on that news. And again, it sort of popped into my head. I feel like I read that. I don't know if it's true. Certainly, that would have them moving on that UUU move. Facebook, and we'll go line it up and sort of knock it dead. I like the pullback into 76. We've talked about it in our prep. Certainly, that 280 level, great in terms of momentum if it gets up there. But you know I'm going to be scalping off some more shares in front of that high of day. I just took another third out here. So first, we get an average price win of $1, and then we're going to take $1.50. Now it's time to see if we can hold through a break of the current high, 278.75, into that 280 area. So Facebook working out rather nicely. I do have to watch out for this bingo. Hopefully it doesn't pop too hard. I mean, obviously you have that $1 even area for resistance on the way up, but 101 is the high today. This is the move yesterday. It was the same sort of thing, and it went to 102 and snapped back. Now, I would not short this as heavily as like I would short a sundial, because this is the second time it's making this move, which makes it a little bit more dangerous. So at this point, I literally have a third of what I would take in something like sundial when I was aggressive on it. Either way, if it breaks the top, I'll just get out and look for another re-entry. But BNGO, I got to try to play that pattern off of the $1 area when I get a chance.
And yeah, I mean, I haven't been too active today, but we're already more than we made yesterday. Look at Snapchat, just still going to the high side. $1.70 right now in the money for Snapchat. So hell yeah. Oh, we're having burgers tonight. So not chicken dinner winner, burger dinner winner. And then look. Again, we started the show. It's right on our watch list, guys. I can't hit this enough. I told you about Facebook and why I liked it. It's right here, big tech. I ignored Apple and Microsoft on my talk. I went straight to the big guy. Well, they're both big. I went straight to Facebook, talked all about that. I said we loved it. I loved that I was closing on highs. We took this 277.60, and your boy still has it. So this is $2 now in the money, and I don't have any ideas or any plans of dropping this one as Facebook off to the races. Let's go. I mean, look at the day we're having. What's up, Brendan?
What a move on Facebook. Wow. Yeah. Two things. QuantumScape, first off, 7.5% big mover upside of late, 7.5% downside today. I'll flip over to this one as well. Fubo TV. I've been talking about this one. Also a big mover of late. Again today, showing weakness, 1.5%, $40 down to 38. Trying to bounce, though, for Fubo, guys.
So Brendan has confirmed DPW owns a 10% stake in UUU, and I feel like if you wanted to play off of something to the short side, probably safer in DPW if UU starts to come back in. There's more liquidity here. It's certainly going to have, it's done 4 million in volume. There's plenty of shares actively traded. So even if it does push to the upside, you're probably in a little bit of safer space here. I actually wasn't prepared for 220 to come in on Boeing, to be honest with you. We said it might be a bit of a boring trade. If it gives you any shot pulling back into VWAP, that's the only way we're going to be able to get into that one. I don't have a target on Facebook. Currently, I've just moved my stop up to just below VWAP, and then I'm going to let this run to the upside as far as it wants to go. I do have to track back over to that BNGO, but I'll do that in a second. I wanted to update on OCGN, which did come back into VWAP. I actually got the reload here. It's still holding that 210 area. Hopefully it can hold this price, then we get a retest of that 190 bottom. We get that 10% move one more time, guys.
Yeah, hopefully you guys like the Facebook talk, guys, because this has been a beast. I should have got out probably some around that 280 level, but we're just cruising right now. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day, and we've already hit our goal. We hit that super early. We're up more today than we were yesterday, and I've only had 56 fills today. Okay, NEO makes that move down, and like normally right now, I would have just put a lot of money in my pocket on NEO because we normally play these bounces. But from what happened yesterday, there was no love on the bounce. You can see yesterday, where is that bounce on NEO here? It just keeps coming down off the open there. And you know, even if you thought this was the bounce, that was a good trade. But if you held it, you got smoked. So let's wait to see if NEO, maybe now taking out VWAP. Brendan, $43. Give us another name, bud.
Another one to look at, guys. Flugent FLGT. Which is a company that makes a COVID-19 testing kit. They announced this morning they were re-upping an agreement to supply New York City with COVID-19 test kits. So coming back in a hurry anyways, failed at $50 even there for FLGT. Back to 48 here on decent volume, guys.
Watch out, TNX is breaking to the upside here. It's making a push through the current high of that 280 level is about to go. I mean, a $3 level certainly looks like it's going to be interesting. This is plenty liquid in terms of the volume that it's done, so it's not quite as dangerous to trade. A little bit less risk of multiple halts just because of that liquidity, but it is looking like it's a bit of a runner. I'm staying away from it until it fades back in. I had a reversal. I basically had a stop order on my short. I was getting out in front of VWAP and then took too many shares. Actually, failed to account for the last exit points that I had here and then reversed into a long, which was small, but I didn't notice it and then got bungled here at 230. So I gave a little bit back what we made on the short. I'm now looking for this level to potentially hold this 275, 280 range. If it breaks, you're probably looking at a breakout trade, guys. VWAP has held 3 times in the pre-market. If it does a 4th time, so if it breaks on the 4th time, I'll be looking to short at that point.
Okay, so loser alert. We finally have one right now, 42.75. We took the short. We got out at 43, so we lose a quarter on NEO, just thinking that, hey, maybe this does retrace down. But if you look at the 50 period, remember I was telling you guys we were getting very, very close. Actually, basically, it does hit it there at 42.05. So I was saying that this is a spot where we could start buying some NEO. So that's that issue right there, 42 and change. It does hit to that. I do go long here on this break, trying to get above some of this stuff. So now we're long NEO. I'm only going to give it back to VWAP 43. Let's see if this goes all the way back or we dump it. We're definitely not giving back what we've made today on this. Look at Snapchat, Brendan, today, man. $2.25. We're in the money and up. That was a great call off the pre-market.
Wait, it's 947. Snapchat's up 11%. Okay. Velodyne, guys, checking in some of these LiDAR companies. So VLDR, 4% straight to the downside. I want to show you this one as well. Colonnade, remember that latest addition to the world of SPACs, also getting crushed today. 15% down to, $15, just broke 14. 6% for that recent SPAC, CLA, guys.
Oh, no.
I want to quickly go back to Lemonade. Now, we talked about the expiry. The expiry, 45 million shares becoming available. There was crazy action off the open. It's really starting to calm down now, and this 115 level is coming right back into focus. Of course, it was a great short, caught a couple of bucks here, reversed into a long. Again, you make a mistake, you get out too much, but it snapped right back down. If it makes a second push through this area, that 115, it might break upside, but I'm more concerned about this holding VWAP here. Because of the liquidity on Lemonade, much easier to get in on a dip in front of a key level than try to take a breakout trade where suddenly you can be out of the money $2 or $3 almost instantly. So I'm looking for this 112 to hold. If it doesn't, it's probably going to be some continued selling. But I feel like that move has already happened. So I'm looking to get that long off that 112, guys. looks like a good one here. We didn't talk about a couple of small caps, but I think Brendan's about to mention it now that I just saw it on the board.
Yeah, from Crypto Land, BTBT. I was thinking there's just a bit of a move in Bitcoin, but I remember this one from yesterday. Bit Digital, Chinese crypto miner, just halted upside through $10 there. So big move up, was negative on the day, but BTBT halted, guys.
And we're feeling kind of ways right now, so it's hot dog time because look at NEO, man. We take that long. We're back in the money. No losers again right now today for us on this one. 43, we take NEO long on that break. Bang, bang, bang. Up into the money. Now we have 20% left. 40% left of NEO. Out 20, 40, 60% to go, guys. So now, right now, NEO banging it up to the upside. Big trade there. Facebook coming back. We already took $2. We're going to wait. Was that $2? No, $1, sorry.
No.
It was nicely in the money there. We should have probably taken some out on that move. But yeah, we are ready to rock and roll. When you guys are ready for Valeria, the shot for Valeria, let me know. Because right now, I just want to talk a little bit about likes. Because as I look, we're going to do this. I mean, how about today? We have 1.5 likes. We have 8,300, Valeria, people watching right now with only 1.5 likes. We need some more. You brought the coffee. Me and Neil bringing the winners. You got the hoops in the ears. You got the heart there. What else? What else do we need? 1.6. This needs to get to 3K like ASAP.
Guys, let's get at least 3,000 of likes. It's holiday season, so let's be kinder and support each other. Hit thumbs up and let's celebrate together.
Yeah,
like the product. I mean, John's talking about the Tim Hortons, and you got the Starbucks there. I'm drinking our patented. I don't know. There's not a name for it because we have a fantastic machine there. But guys, if you're not liking the content here, there's a reason we started early. It's so we can get to as many of these names as possible. One of those was Disney. I'm looking to see if we can hold above that 180. Of course, I think it's a potential breakout and then maybe a sustained secondary push through that price. Hasn't happened yet. Watch out. Bingo just took off the top. So I'm going to get out of that one, 98 to 102. But if Disney continues this push back down into like a 175, 176, not to get that price confused with 276 on Facebook, that could be a nice little dip here. It's basically flat on the session, but let's not get too far away from a stock that has been one of the better ones in the last couple of weeks here. I still like it, even if it's a dip buy instead of a break.
Guys, it's hot dogs for everybody because there goes NEO. I'm still not happy with this 2.6, by the way. Like, that should be at 3,000 by now. 8,200 people watching. Let's get that going. I'll check back in a couple minutes to see what's going on. Like, look at NEO, guys. 75 cents now in the money. Bang, bang, bang. We talked about this play. I missed this, but we say no worries, and we take it, and it goes ripping to the upside again. 44.30, guys. NEO, $1 now in the money. So we'll do backwards for that. $2 in the money is Snapchat. I go perfect today, guys. And then Facebook right now, still 45 cents in the money. Probably drop this if it gets back to flat. We already took $1. I'm willing to sort of hold this back to maybe, actually, what about a 277 break? Let's just wait to see if that does happen. Hopefully it doesn't. But right now, everything rocking and rolling, man. Big time wins. There it is, Valeria. 2.7 now and still making moves to the upside. So that's a smooth double there. We had 1.5 up to 2.7. Good math there, Sean. What's up, B?
Another one, guys, another recent IPO that has a lockup expiration coming. Albertsons, ACI, just popping up here. 4% today, just cleared that last little hurdle on the daily chart above 16.5, ripped right up to 1670. So big move for ACI so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think we did mention that one last week, at least. And Albertsons might not always be the best day trade. I just got into Nikola on this little retest of that 17. This is the way I wanted it off of the open, but if it has to happen on this kind of a ridiculous push, $1.50, so a 10% move off of the bottom in Nikola, and I wanted to be fading off this level anyways, yeah, sign me up. So 16.90, literally 16.99 in front of 17 is what I got. 17 isn't necessarily the level, of course. There's two here, 17 quarter and 17.50 that I think are going to be better shots. But either way, that's a scalp trade that I just got to have every single time. If I'll take a little bit out for a 20-cent scalp and then look for a retracement into VWAP here, and then get like, it looks like that'll be 50 to 60 pennies. But that shouldn't be that easy. But you see a parabolic move like that, too far, too fast. And then an obvious level that we like from the pre-market. If you know the level you're going to play in front of in advance, you can catch that trade. But it was a quick turn right off of 17. Good thing we anticipated.
Yeah, I'm just typing out here that we flipped long, and now banking on NEO right now as we go. We'll put that chart up for you guys there on Twitter, explaining exactly what we did. And I mean, here's what I just sent out for you guys. Like, so we went short here. Right, there's the short. Then we got out on a 43 break. So this isn't talking, again, more about risk management, as there goes NEO, $1.20 now in the money and still going higher. Then we wait for it to kind of clear these levels right here, 43.30, some of these little levels, and then we go long on this break, and now we're in the money. $1.50 right now on Snapchat, on NEO right now. Yeah, $1.75 on Snapchat, still going. Facebook hovering around. And then Candy makes you dandy. We're just chilling out here. Still a winner on this stock. I don't know. We're just going to drop it if it breaks 7. I don't care that much about this stock, but we're at a high spot. Let's watch Snapchat. I got to do a little bit more work here on Snapchat because I don't really have an out. 52.40 looks fine to me. Yeah, okay. Looking at different longer time frames here on a 3-minute, we like to find, you know, I'm trying to hold things a bit longer, and I think we did that today, so happy win for sure. Yeah, actually, let's get more specific here. 52.66 on a 3-minute, I'm happy dropping it there. So 52.60 break, we're going to be out for, well, just a $1.50 winner on Snapchat. But right now it's $2. Let's see how high this wants to go.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes this early in the session, it's 9:54, right? So you have to know that if there's going to be these continued moves, and sometimes if you think something is a runner, you've just got to hang on to it. If it's going to fade, you hang on to your short. If it's a runner, you hang on to your long, especially if you've already banked some profits. So, you know, I'm thinking the same thing in Facebook here, and I'm also thinking that in OCGN, I'll short more shares if I can in and around VWAP, but it's going to be very picky. 210 looks like I might want to move my stop to that price from a 215. So I'm going to go ahead and do that while picking up more shares in the 0405 range. If two goes, this one could be back breaking 190, and then maybe we see a 175 handle by end of day. Brendan?
Another one with recent strength. Yeah, market breaking downside here. Rensola, SOL is showing some weakness today through 11 there. It's trying to recover above it, but I remember this one had a huge move again yesterday to the upside. So finally, a bit of a pullback for this Rensola, SOL, guys.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about this market breaking down, but I mean, Snapchat back to the all-time days high again, still making moves, man. 11% up 220. NEO still going. So I gave you my Snapchat out. My NEO out. We're light now. We only have 20%. We just took some out at the high side. We said we're going to try to hold for a little longer. I think we can break 45.20, to be honest with you. So let's just see the momentum back in this name. NEO up 1%. We know it can go a lot more. So let's just see if it's the case today. 45.20 coming on NEO. I'm happy holding the rest of this. It's a big stock for me. Snapchat's obviously my #1 stock today, but NEO making moves as well. And so is Facebook, now up 65, 79, 80 cents now in the money on Facebook. So I still think Facebook retests highs. I'm going to watch out for this 280, though. If we get back up to there, then, you know, you got to make a move. But look at this market, though, Brendan. Thanks for bringing that up. The market is cracking. So this is a 3-minute chart. Where are we at right there? 277.90. I may get out on a 3-minute VWAP break of Facebook. There's no point in holding this too much longer with the market just shitting itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly why I moved my stop to VWAP as well on Facebook, Sean. I mean, this market is screaming down. We're still positive on the ES, but maybe not for long. Someone asked about, I didn't see who it was, apologies, BTBT. It did reopen and held the halt price of 1040, but it's not a name in space that I want to be jumping too aggressively into the short. If it breaks this 1040 level, I think that is going to be a definite scalp long trade. If it holds this price, I'll start thinking about getting into a short, but first things first, it could actually break that 1040 now. Brendan, what's up?
I was just dealing with this NTAR. Remember that Nextech, guys? We were talking about CEO Evan coming on Tuesday. We're trying to get him on today. So they bought $2 million in Bitcoin today. So we might talk to Nextech, guys, coming up a little bit later on.
Yeah, exactly. Good little look there, Brendan. I just put it in the comment there if you can look at that and let our producer know. I think that would be kind of cool. So there it is. We're out of Facebook. We talked about that. Spin it. We got the money. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day. I'm not going to let this market come down and crush my dreams. So we're out of Facebook right there on that VWAP. And again, we talked yesterday about risk management, and there it is right here, you know, in full effect. Breaking there. I'm a little bit nervous. Could be wrong. Look, I don't know. I mean, this market could rip back up, but we put the money in our pocket. We put that, we're at our highest spot we've been at all day. Besides unrealized, we were at higher up there if we got out at the maximum, but we're really happy being flat right now. And I have same feelings for NEO, man. If NEO breaks this 44.25, I'm debating getting out. This is a 3-minute chart and not many levels. This just ripped high side there. If we zoom back out on NEO, I mean, I guess I could hold. I mean, why not? Let's just do this. Let's hold this until 43.80, guys. I mean, we're long at 43.35. Put an order in 43.80. We break back down below. We'll get out. But I think Neo has enough legs to it to hold this market, guys. So Neo 43.80 out.
And gonna take this Nikola, and it looks like it actually is getting a bit strong. You've seen the market pull off, and of course, Sean's talking about it here, but Nikola made a massive bounce off the bottom. I wanted this little snapback trade off of 17. It couldn't get all the way to VWAP, so maybe I had a shot at like 30, 40 cents on the rest of it, but I was looking for 50. If it makes another push higher at this point, the tighter stop is going to be the one in play, and even that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. So I'm probably going to move it right up to this 17, 15. I don't even want to risk more than that 15 pennies. I've seen Nikola squeeze before. If this is the bottom, I don't want to get trapped at that price. BTBT does not break 1040, so as much as I thought it might be a runner, if it broke that Hulk price, it is starting to come back in. I'm not shorting it just yet, but 1040, I'm probably going to cancel that order now that it's below that $10, guys.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of tweeting today because I get a lot of you guys like that. Nikola to the downside, we just talked about that, and we don't hit this enough. But I'm going to consider this. I mean, basically a perfect idea there on Nikola. So we were 3.5% up today. I thought that was a little too much there, so we did short it. It comes all the way back. I must have canceled my orders. We did get out there, 16.27. That's pretty perfect out for me for half, and then we get the other half. We missed the very bottom, but I'm happy getting out at 16 because then look what you save. You don't have to worry about it when it rips all the way back up. So good call on that one. Looks like our Facebook was a little bit of a bad call. Like I said, we can't. I mean, I don't have this crystal ball, although sometimes. May seem like it. What's up, Beep?
Just saw late reporting there. It's actually nothing, guys. There was a halt that happened in the pre-market on Lemonade. Thought it was a current one, but there was a little late reporting on my system. So 114 breaking back downside for Lemonade, not halted, guys.
You know what? I actually didn't even catch. Yeah, I didn't see that indication as well. I wanted to see if we hold VWAP right here. So this is actually that test. It's good timing on Brendan's part. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Perfect timing on Brendan's part. If it holds this 113 VWAP and starts to bounce or gives any kind of a consolidation higher, I'm looking for like a 114 area. No, I don't want to pay anything more than that on Lemonade to catch this little bounce because then you're risking $2 in slippage and then see if it continues this trend back up. There was a couple of days worth of sell-off, and now it seems like we're coming back into the fray to the upside, finding a little bit of strength. I'm going to quickly come back to, this is a name from a couple of days ago, Fubo. It's continuing its little purge. I don't know. I don't know a better word for it there. The level from yesterday was already talked about, that 37. It's retesting that bottom and looking to bounce. Technically, it got to 36.50. If it can hold that, maybe there's a bit of a retracement play in Fubo. It was good yesterday, but the second time it tests, not usually as effective, so maybe a scalp off the bottom there. If it breaks, Fubo has some room to run to the downside. I'll probably make that mistake a million times. Fubo, if you know Fubo and you have some of that gear, you're at least as old as I am, or, well, maybe a little bit older as well, as Randy's pointing out to me.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday, Fubo, for us, by us. And yeah, if you don't know about Fubo, then you're probably young. So
yes.
Fubo there, that's cool. We're still going on all the stocks that we have right now. We're looking for some new names, man. Palantir, we can call that up a little bit. It is trying to bounce off that bottom again, making me a little bit interested in this name, but I don't know. I still think it, okay, here, I got to zoom back in a little bit here. Let's go to a 1 minute if we're going to analyze something for the first time. Yep, there it is. Okay, I was gonna say it needs, I think it needs to get back to 25.20, to be honest with you. Like, this is a lot of up, garbage, break down. So we could possibly go right here. What is, oh, 75, okay. I think we like this one then right now, 24.75. The only problem is we're down a little bit now. So this stock has been hit a little bit. We'll try a small, we won't go hammer time on this one. I try to do the best to tell you when I really like a position a lot. We talked about that with Snapchat this morning. We talked about that with Facebook. And this is just gonna be a try. We're gonna try to take this here on a break. So 24.75, we're not gonna try, we're gonna take it, but 24.75, and we'll see if we can get it out up here at 25. So I like the momentum break here, but I am very cautious of what Palantir has been doing lately. We're getting close to that reload level of 22 bucks. So watch out for that. When that comes, we'll be reloading our position for sure. I've been raising capital and cash, as you guys know. 24.76, let's go on a Palantir break. I'm gonna take it.
Well, I just had to very quickly make sure, and it took me a while there, but remember that we need to get locates on Fubo there, and the reason it took longer than normal is because I literally typed Fubo into our request, and of course that is not, it's just of course so rejected on me saying what are you doing. Anyways, BTBT, like I said, is starting to come to the downside here. You look at this one, look at the liquidity here. This is probably not going to be an actionable trade unless it's off of that 10 level that we just saw, that 10 to 1040. That looks pretty good to me, but I probably missed the boat by not looking to short it off of that initial push. It was a halt and it did hold that price, which is usually the setup. I stayed away from it given the space that it is currently in. So it is what it is. We're going to miss that opportunity. It's going to happen from time to time. Sean, I think you mentioned CCL off of the open here. It tried to just make a bit of a double bottom, and it's also exactly at flat on the day, and the market's starting to come back a little bit. I just want to see if we can get a little bit of a scalp at this 75 area back into VWAP. And again, this is probably looking for 5, 10, 15 type winners, and then just see if it can hold the 65 to 70. I just noticing the double bottom that it put in, and throw into it that it's yesterday's close price as well, was 71. But this is not something where I dig into and hold it through the low of the day. It either goes really quickly for me, gives me the scalp that I want, or it will just walk away from it rather fast. But CCL entering here off 75, I'm just looking to get it back to 22.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to hit that backflip there. Palantir out a little bit, that doesn't matter. But what we wanting to try to celebrate was Snapchat. I have no idea what's going on right now. We're $2.50 now in the money on Snapchat, and it's still going, guys. We only have that 10%, like this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So actually, we only have 10%, so my math, there must have been 2 outs in there somewhere. But yeah, we still have that Snapchat ripping to the high side. NEO, $1.28 in the money. And this is the thing, if you're watching us right now, I know I just did this, but 7,900, we should be able to get to 3,000. Let's see 3,000 after we get back from this break from Brendan. I mean, all the winners, guys, I can't believe how good this day's been. Let's get going. This is real trading by real traders. Don't forget that. Let's go, Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, busy morning, lots to discuss. Let's have a look at North American markets here. We are coming back in a little bit, so pairing off some of the gains. Still positive though for both the S&P and the Dow, 0.2%. But look at the NASDAQ starting to go negative here. The composite, 0.1% to the downside. The 100 still up about 0.25%. The Russell, small caps, remember all-time highs yesterday for all of these, 0.5% to the downside for small caps. The TSX here in Toronto, 0.3%. You can see basically flat down in Brazil. A couple of things from the watch list to keep in mind still at this point. Let's have a look at Lemonade first. We talked about that break back below 114. So it looks like 114 to 116 possible resistance coming from this area yesterday for Lemonade on that lockup expiration. Ended up being not that big a deal. SAP, that big move yesterday, they're spinning off part of their business, 132 resistance. We're back to 131. So a lot of things looking a little weak here as the market is creeping back to the downside. AstraZeneca, I wanted to mention this one on the list as well. Gapping higher as they're expecting UK approval and also approval coming from India for their vaccine within days, any moment now, in fact, for the UK, coming back into this area, 50.5 for AstraZeneca after early weakness as well. Guys, back to you.
Thank you again, Brendan. And again, it's crazy. Both times you mentioned Lemonade, it's been like just the perfect timing here. Now, we didn't actually do that hold that I wanted to see off of VWAP. It's just broken through. I'm back to thinking about that short trade. That's where initially we're looking to short off of that 115. So now that we're back below this, what I thought could be a support, 112 to 114, I'm looking for that short trade. But I'm not taking breakdowns. Everything I want to catch off the offer or on the way up so I get a better price and don't get squeezed, because liquidity and spread, a little bit of a concern continuously on Lemonade, guys.
Yeah, I just went long there on Lemonade. I'm going to use this as a bottom right now. 110. So we're going to go long right now. 111. What did I just take there? What's my position? 111.86. So we closed the spread there. We get 86s right now on Lemonade. Let's see if we get back to 113 and see if we can't take another win on, well, not another one. I mean, Neil took one. This is my first one. So we'll wait on this one. 112.90. And if it breaks down, it breaks down, man. 110 and change will be the out. I don't mind that at all. The out could be even a little bit closer, man. But there it goes, instantly in the money there. $1, so that's good. Look at the spread, though, on Lemonade, guys. Like, you could say it's in the money $1, but obviously, I don't even have my time and sales printing there. Let's move this over. I guess I extended my chart too much. There we go. 112, 60s, 70s. We're sitting here at 80s. Let's see if we can get a print on Lemonade and take $1 in a minute. Yeah, Neil, you're right. This stock is beautiful to trade.
Well, that's the thing is, and it's a good thing you got to show that level too at times, because Lemonade, essentially one tick or one big order is going to determine your trades, and that's why taking a break out or break down, neither one of us is talking about doing that. You want to get in at a favorable price, because if let's say you wanted a 112 break right here, you could pay down to 111.50, and then with one tick, it's at 113 again. So if that's not what you're looking to do, then you stay away from it as a day trader. That's just a little bit of information as to how we were looking at stocks. Facebook is what it is. I mean, look, it is the plan. The plan of action was to try to hold through 280. So I scalped a trade into the current high. Did not take out in front of 280 because I wanted to hold through a break of that price. That's what I said this morning. So you go with the plan. It broke VWAP. It's going to look bad, but if you're up, or more importantly, if you followed your plan of action, you got to be happy with that regardless of the outcome. It does feel like there's going to be a chance to maybe dip off of VWAP here again and then get a bit of a long trade, but that hasn't happened just yet, so I'm not going to jump into that until we get back to 278. 276 certainly looks like it was a great level.
Yeah, is Facebook falling down? I didn't even look at Facebook. Are out there? Yeah, all the way up. Yeah, like, wow. Talk about that. We got out at VWAP there. We said that we were nervous about the market. Should not have been, as that one just keeps going. Okay, Palantir, guys. Good long there. 77, out 83, out 87. We said we'd try to get this to 25, so we do have some offers there. What? It gets as high as 94. I'm waiting at 96. Okay. But anyways, Palantir still going. We're going to give this one to the bottom. We've taken a little bit of money on this. We can afford to do whatever we need to do on that one. Snapchat still 250 in the money and still making moves to the high side. Don't really have too many targets on this as it just keeps on going. We can look at a daily chart to see if there's anything on Snapchat. I mean, we're basically back. I don't know if this is all-time highs or not, but recent highs anyways, 54.70. Didn't even think we'd come close to that. 54 is a great out. I'm trying to hold a little bit of it, though. I mean, we already did, so we may just wait on that one. But Snapchat right there. NEO, $1 in the money, and we still have these levels that we're looking at to get out. I think it was right down here, 53. 43, sorry, 82 on the downside. And again, thank you so much to everybody. You saw the animation. There's 3K likes, so it's only 1010 right now, and that's pretty impressive for us. So thank you so much to everybody. Maybe we break our 4.1 today. So if you're looking to make some moves, 4.1 is what we're looking at as well. But there goes Lemonade, Neil, and hallelujah, a nice little, guys, hot dogs. Take them or leave them. Have them with lemonade. Hot dogs, a treat deserved to be drank with freshly squeezed lemonade. And there's a quick $1 on lemonade, and we'll hold the rest on that as well. So we get out of 2/3 of our position right there. Bang, 11.89 in, out 62. So I guess it's 85 cents on the win there. And we get out just before VWAP. So let's see if lemonade can't make our day just top it off even more, guys. 115 and change. Let's see how high lemonade goes.
Yeah, and I said I would have very specific conditions to look at UUU here. One of them is starting to possibly come into play. It just halted another time here, and this is a downward halt. So it had one down halt, sort of, because it did test higher before closing at 1240. So this is the key. If it could actually open up lower at this point, I'm looking for hopefully something a little bit lower than this 12 range. We're just holding. It basically couldn't even stay open, guys. If it opens lower than this like 11, fantastic. If it opens testing that 11 area, I'd look for a break of that 11 price. But if it opens anywhere close to 14, got to stay away from it. You're looking for actual weakness for things to make sense on the stock. And if you are watching them, do remember DTTW, which Brendan brought to your attention, owns a stake. So the other way to play this, it reopens and heads lower on UUU. Worth a short in DPW here, although that's already down 11%. So short sell restriction is in place. This Nikola trade, it does feel like it wants to roll here. Testing again at 1680, but it held VWAP or didn't even get close to it before. It kind of feels like if it breaks 1660, that's a momentum short. So I'm probably going to get out. I'm going to cancel this bid here. Forget about taking 50 pennies. If I can get like 20 or 30 cents and then catch a break down at 1650, I'll just get into a new trade to try and capture a bigger move that way, guys.
Okay.
Oh, are you kidding me, Randy?
So
Don't
we
do
still
this
have.
to me.
Update
do
here.
that to me, man.
We are out now of NEO, so we do get out there at that 43.80 level. So that was a good one. Now we're making moves downside even more. So right there, just by getting out, we save that 20 cents. Ooh, at Trader TV Randy here with the Timbits. We'll take a birthday cake one. There it is. We got a birthday cake Timbit there. We'll just put it on the side. We'll find a napkin and put that out. Thank you so much, Randy, making the day even more dandy with candy. There we go to the downside now. Goes NIO. Good trade there. And again, sometimes your outs is what needs to be celebrated. Out, upside, out again, guys. There it goes. The market pulling back down a lot right now. Watch your shorts. Lemonade, maybe we should get out. I don't know. Still in the money, though. Lemonade, possibly thinking about getting out.
I'm going to give a big shout out and thank you. You know why you should like the show? You know why you should come every single day? Because the community is fantastic. I was literally just talking about you. So many times on halt, you'll see me go to that halt page to confirm whether it's volatility. I just assumed volatility halt. It is news pending. Which I should have checked first. So thank you very much to the viewers that pointed it out to me there. Much appreciated, Brendan.
Okay, guys, Evogene here, a biotech company that operates mainly in the farming and food space, providing an update on some of their recent activity and products that they have coming for the new year. EVGN, big move down today, 15%, was not received well. Apparently, this update through $5 there was a great break to the downside, but another one looking very weak as we make day lows on the market, guys.
Right. A lot of people talking about BFT. Yeah, BFT breaking. I mean, we talked about this. This is a good, actually, I wonder if this is a good spot to get long again on BFT. This has happened yesterday. BFT was at highs today, all-time highs at 17. I saw you talk about a 1650 break there. Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Did this halt or what happened to BFT there? 1557. This is a 1 minute candle. What time was this? 10, 12, 10, no, just a monster move down to 15 right now. There is some size here at 15, but 1450 really is a breaking spot. Let's try a little long at 15 here on BFT, but it looks like it's going to break. I don't know if there was news on that. That's just a big, oh, there it goes. Now the candle fills in. That was just a big move to the downside right there. It might be an opportunity to get long.
Yeah, I mean, I would defer to like finding out if something just dropped. I mean, if you see something happen like that, I'd rather miss out on something and trade it blindly. I'm going to go back to 10x here very quickly. It got below VWAP, showed some weakness here, so I'm getting into the trade off of the pop into that VWAP price at 240. I also got out of nickel. I just said get out in front of VWAP, and then I'll just take a break at 1650. Sorry, I just got in at 45. So a couple of new trades here. A new one into nickel, same direction, still to the short side, and back into 10x after sort of mixed bag trading pre-market, guys.
So out of Snapchat there on that drop down. And again, we only had that 10%, but we'll still celebrate a $2 winner there. So the Santa Claus rally might be over right now because Santa's back at that North Pole right now, and you're seeing some of these stocks coming off. Remember, yesterday we had the triple threat, man. We had everything at all-time highs. Dow, we had at all-time highs. We had NASDAQ, and we had the S&P. So no surprise that we're giving some back today. No doubt about that. So we're into BFT off that 15 break there. And I don't even mind this long again. 52.80. We get back, yeah, right here, 52.80. We get back to 52.80 on Snapchat. Let's try a long again, 52.80 on Snapchat and see if we can't get a nice little winner. Lemonade now, guys. Big time win on Lemonade. We're slaying that dragon. Pretend Brendan is a nice juicy jug there of lemonade. Oh, let me know on the chat if you like pink or yellow lemonade. That should be a good one there. We're going to throw to Brendan. So, Brendan, you tell me you like pink or yellow lemonade.
Curveball, Sean.
Uh-oh.
Limeade.
Oh, okay, good.
For
legit.
An update here, guys, for the Bill Foley Transamine acquisition, PaySafe. So there was actually a note that came out after market yesterday talking about some of the financials, some of the projections going forward for PaySafe. But I want to highlight this language here because I don't think this is correct. But they're talking about Foley Transamine acquisition. A SPAC has post-tense or past tense there merged with PaySafe. So we'll look into this more, but PSFE is going to be the ticker on the New York Stock Exchange once it does merge, guys.
So those will get flying into my account as well. We'll hit a bang because here you go. This is how you trade, straight up. I mean, we go long there 15, we watch that move come down, we take out 25 cents plus, there it is. just another winner for your boy on this side. So Hydration Nation going to be in the building. We're going to let this one go up, man. I have another offer on this to get out again in the 40s. Let's just see how hot. Bang! A quick little 30-cent win. I mean, this is a minute chart, right? So in 2 minutes here, here's 40 cents for you. No problems. To the upside goes BFT. Like, you want to hit this one down? Let's just buy some more. Buy. Up to 40s now. Here's a quick little 35-cent winner and still going. So that's a nice win for me. Like, this is why we need 4Ks. Here's 45 cents, 50 cents in a matter of minutes. Bang, there we go again. We get that out. Look at these trades. BFT, beautiful long at 15, a no-brainer down there. Look at Lemonade, guys. $2 in the money on Lemonade as well. So yeah, big moves happening on the day. And again, we are now again at the highest spot we've been at all day. It actually has not been a roller coaster. Really calm day, really chill. Let's just keep this money coming through, guys. Merry Christmas.
Well, I can tell you what it is doing. At least some of these are just falling money. I'm going to use the term falling here, and again, can we upgrade that for something that actually looks a little bit like me? Maybe even the bald head. But this OCGN, this was about as easy as it gets. I talked about getting some more shares off of VWAP retracement, and then two even was a key level. Got some shares back in. So we talk about averaging into trades, but you can also average up, which is as it goes down, you're still selling on the way down and getting a worse price. Sometimes it just means the trade's going for you. No reason to take it off, but sometimes also you can get back into some more shares. I did get into Fubo, and that's probably the only time I'm going to say the name correctly. But this was right at that 36.50. Now, so I go to the higher time frame to see. This is why I liked it. Yesterday's bottom to see if it has momentum through the bottom side. If it breaks 36, it's definitely going to be a hold through that price. But you're shorting it right at the low of the day. So this is one of those trades. If it doesn't go, you can have a stop at like 37, but this is also time-based. If it hasn't gone in like 5 or 6 minutes, I'm probably just going to get out of it regardless because it is a breakdown trade and not something I rolled into, which is usually my preferred entry.
So I don't really know how to tweet this out, but this is like what I'm going to be doing moving forward, guys. Like, just less trades and just the best trades I can find. I mean, falling money? I mean, look at this BFT trade. I mean, you guys sat here. We all sat here together. We talked about BFT. There's that move to the downside. We see some size at 15. We love 15. This is where you just stick with your plan, man. Like, this comes down. Look at this. Bang, 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 bang. And now we're still in this trade. So we still have 20%, 20, 40, 60, 80. Nice little trade on BFT. Oh, yeah, and by the way, $3 on Lemonade as well. I don't know. Let's just keep going. Brendan, you're the best. So we'll hit that again for him because, again, I'm out of things to hit right now. Alibaba, we bought that yesterday at 222. That's going good in the long-term account as well. So everything right now groovy. We're going to check back on DraftKings. That's sub 50 as well. But for now, let's go over to Brendan at the big screen.
All right, guys, we'll go back to small cap world. Few of them that we were talking about today. I want to mention this one first. I was busy doing other things and missed this, but a great fade opportunity for DTTW. I just highlighted the support from yesterday afternoon and the resistance from yesterday afternoon. 5 to 540 is that kind of area. Did break through that, did consolidate very, very quickly, had to catch it, but against 5, that was a great short down to 420 right now for DTTW. We'll shift over to TENX, starting to go back to the upside. I just tried this again. I was starting to look a little bit weak. This is a problem, though, down here, this volume, but took one shot at it early on versus top of the pre-market level there. Really hasn't done much, just kind of chopping around, doing nothing. And Candy, yeah, we brought you the news as it came out right at 8:30 this morning. Big move to the upside, but once it broke back below 820, this gave you $1 and change to the downside. So they ended up fading this news on Candy. 820 down to $7 we just bounced off of, guys, on KNDI.
It's weird that you just said it because I just tried 10x again, mentioning off of VWAP here. I was able to get some, scalping it out for that like 5, 10 cent initial winners, but it tries to break above VWAP here. I'm actually going to use, and right here, just get out at 240. You can give it a little bit more, but what I'm trying to get at here is the reason I got out with the tighter stop is it just feels a little bit strong. It keeps holding. Any level that I think is like kind of support ends up being strong. support. So it still feels a little bit bullish to me. If it retests the top, maybe worth a look there. But fighting some of these runners, it's just not a game I want to play too heavily. Fubo continues to make an attempt to go, but like I said, if it doesn't go right away, it's now put in at least a little bit of a consolidation range, so I can say previous bottom 36.70, the top of this move 36.70. It gives me an area stop instead of a time stop, so I can still stay disciplined with this and then hope it retraces through 36 and continues to push on to some lows. But either way, I now have sort of a more obvious out instead of just hanging on to it time base. So 36.70 now makes some sense to me on Fubo. I know we're only giving it like 30 or 40 cents. The risk reward's pretty good, but at 30, 40 cents, to that 36 even, which still has to break. And I'm trying to hold through a 36 break.
All right, we're just going to see if we can't just take $3 on lemonade right here. Oh, and by the way, so BFT right now, I mean, we talked about that. You're welcome for that. We just tweeted that out. I hope you guys had that, and thank you again for everybody on the chat. But another one?
Money.
I mean, look at Palantir here, guys. 2470 in 83, or sorry, in 70, out 83, out 86, out 95, out 11s, and now we still go higher and higher. So BFT right now, 75 cents in the money. Palantir, 45 cents in the money. And a small little candy trade that we're waiting for it to break 7, still here. We've already made money on this trade. Now it will be a loser, but whatever at this point. We should have held on to our Facebook, but again, hot dogs for everybody that did, because this was a fantastic trade. I hope you had that one on. I'm getting some love also for the Neo trade here, short. And look, this is the thing, we talk about it all the time. Don't be married. Okay, new position alert, screw this. Alibaba taking out the top, 233.35 right now. We'll try it. It's not a big position, but it is a position. So Alibaba right now, we're going to give it back to VWAP. That's why it's not a huge position. 231.50 break, but right now we're long Alibaba. This is going to be a long-term play, like maybe 20 minutes. We'll see if this one can go upside. We're long in our own account, 222. So a big win for us today, instantly in the money, 5%. That's a good one. And now we're going high side here on Alibaba. Let's see. Breaks that, and now we're in. So in a little late on this, but we want to get confirmation. Alibaba, we're going to give it back down to VWAP. Could be a loser, could be the first real loser of the day. Let's wait to see. 231 and change. Right now, it's been a pretty damn good day if you ask me.
Facebook is actually reaching that 280 mark. So
lemonade.
Hey, we got there pretty quick, guys. If it breaks that price, I'm going to be going in. I know it's just made a high off of 279.60, but that psychological level also important to me. So that's why I'm going to take the break at 80 instead. We already have a bit of a dip buy, but the other idea was the 280 breakout. Sort of retake of that level. I mean, obviously, it's been at 280 before, but I just think it's an awesome opportunity for it to finally make a move towards some highs here. It's going to be a bit of a scalp trade, at least on the first portion of it, so I'll use some momentum into that 281 range and then see if we can hold for a bigger move after that, just the way we did with the dip trade on Facebook off 76. Brennan.
Just had another alert on this one. Bio-Nano Genomics still going. 120 now. It just went off. You can see a huge volume spike coming in as we broke 120. So BNGO turned out to be day 2. That was the right one, guys.
Yeah, Ghetto Trades, you want to fire them up? I mean, we are already firing them up. We're fired up right now, period, guys. Yeah, you missed the Facebook and Baba call. Sorry about that. But they're there, and you can follow me all over Twitter, guys. We are all over this like crazy right now. Okay, BFT, 75 cents, and still moving. We could probably get out of our last 20% if we get to 16. Let's just wait to see on that one. Palantir, man, just what a trade that's been. Today, I'll move that over there. Palantir upside, but watch out. We're going to have to get out if it breaks back down below 25.20. That's very, very soon. And then the Alibaba trade, it's 233.50. It does go on the money about 40 cents, a little bit more. Yeah, about 30 cents there. I still have a high side for this, so we're going to give this one back to 231.40. This one could be a loser. We talked about that. It's not a big position. I'll do my best, guys, to tell you when I'm in a position with a decent amount of shares. This is a decent amount of shares, but this is not the be-all, end-all for Alibaba. But I still am holding out hope for that $1.50 on the high side if we're going to give it that much to the downside. But yeah, big day today. Oh, I didn't get to this one. Here it is, guys. We talked about lemonade. Brendan came with the limonade. For me, I like lemonade a little too sour. For me, I'm going to go with pink lemonade. We'll get Neil's in a minute. 115, though, guys, off of a 111. So right there, a nice little smooth, refreshing $3.50 on that one, guys. So yeah, we're at our highest spot once again, even with this BOBA trade. Oh yeah, by the way, BOBA trade, like we're out of the money 5 cents, and I'm talking like it's a problem. We don't have many losers today at all. We don't have any losers today. Yeah, check out these guys. Alibaba, BFT's a win. Facebook's a win. KNDI, pending, but whatever. It's a win for temporarily. Lemonade there. Neo a win. Nikola a win. So I'm just going over all the stocks. You can see them at the bottom. Palantir, 55 cents in the money. And then Snapchat, what else do we have to say about that? That basically reviews the day right there. It's 10:30, and we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for 10. Clean sweep, my friend Neil.
Clean sweep. I can't look. I can't do it. I want to be happy, but this guy's talking about lemonade, and I cannot stand that stuff. I got to be honest with you. I can't do it. I'm a traditionalist. Give me the good lemonade there. So thankfully, lemonade's been a good stock to both of us. I don't know that we're going to be drinking any because we don't have any around here. I mentioned this, and always remember that short sell restricted rule applies to multiple days. It's the day that it goes 10%. It's also the day after. That's the entire reason why we don't have any Virgin Galactic here on that 2360 break. So look, you can say this is the level I want. Long breaks are fine. But if you try to get a short, sometimes it can be tricky. The worst part about it is it actually came back in here. It broke. I missed it. Canceled the order because I want the breakdown trade. It comes right back and gives you a 2360 short and then falls to 23. So space is coming back in. It has been a volatile one this week. I think there's going to be an opportunity, and maybe if it can hold these areas here, just looking at like 22 to 23, if it can hold for it and then maybe break out in the new year, that could be a solid trade. But at this point, it isn't really showing too many signs of turning around. So I'd be a little bit cautious with this because if it does push any further, you might as well just wait for another 10, 15%, guys.
I love that ghetto trades up here. Trader Joe, 10 for 10, awesome trading. Thank you so much. And then up here again, ghetto trades. Whoa, 10 for 10 as well. But that is pending this Alibaba trade. Which is right now 20 cents out of the money. So I could go 9 for 10 at some point here today. So that's what we're watching. And honestly, guys, we missed that Snapchat. We did have it downside. We didn't get out enough. Again, I say we missed it, but 53.60 to the high side was there. 53.80 was there as well. I'm trying to pick some more up. I mean, 9% on some upgrades seems like a lot, but there it is, 52 and change. I'm really just glad that I also gave a long-term call for Neo, and I did get some love there on the chat from you guys as well. We talked about if Neo gets to 42, it might be worth stabbing. It got to 42.25, so I hope some of you did that on Neo right now. We still need candy to go up. That's really the only thing that's holding this day down right now. But what's up, B?
I mentioned this one earlier, guys. IMMR software maker, 24% on the day. This is 52-week highs for IMMR. There's a couple of upgrades on this one, but in the right space at the right time type of things for this one. But another volume spike you can see coming in through 1175 for IMMR. It's 10:30, not 11:30. Valeria is watching what's going on over in Europe. About an hour left over there. V, what's up?
Hey Brandon, European shares extend gains on the optimism around Brexit trading deal. Travel stocks as a group are also trading high, with TUI, Lufthansa and ING are all up between 2 and 8%. Back to you.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, I was mentioning earlier, the cruise lines kind of taking a little more control today. Airlines still positive, but not as much as cruise lines, guys.
Thank you, Brendan. You mentioned BNGO. I've taken a few trades in this stock. To the short side, we had a small win that we wouldn't take out. We wanted a bigger move on it, and then of course it broke upside back out of penny stock status. Next level up is this 140 area that certainly has caught my attention. You have to go all the way back to the beginning of the year to even get it. And if it gets to that price, fair enough, but it just turned off of that at 133 and is consolidating lower. So taking a first shot, if only because it's a tight stop. If I can get something like 29s and 30s, you're essentially risking 5 pennies at worst to see if you can't retrace back into like a 115. So I like that risk to reward. We're a little ways away from the 140, but it's more the risk to reward that I like to take it shy of that level. And it was a bit of a pullback off of it one time. If it goes a second time, we have a decent shot at getting not 2 VWAP. I'm looking only at that 115 to 117 area where you had this just above this chop area on the way up, guys. I was long out of the short before that, but it just got in at 29s. I'll look to see if I can add. I don't want to chase it too far, though.
Close your eyes. because we have to do this. Because I mean, it's just one of those things where Palantir, it just keeps going upside. You know, we're long this name sub 10, so this is a good move today. But we coming back here. So it was a good move to the downside. It basically hits levels we've been talking about. Excuse me. On the daily, we were looking to get long. I said 22 was the reload, but it looks like we stopped and dropped at 24.50 again. So now look at this Palantir trade, guys. I didn't think this would happen, but there's $1 for you on Palantir. Hell yeah, $1 also on BFT. And you know what? To keep the perfect day, I'm going to get out of BABA now. Not. We're going to wait to see if this keeps going to the high side. And there we go. We're going to go 10 for 10 right now if I get out. That's what that is. 234 right now, making moves to the high side. Where are we long again? 233.52. I want this to get to 235. So here we go. Let's see a break of 234. Let's get going on Alibaba to the high side right now. 234 and change is where we're going to take it out. Maybe we'll take out $1 first. So let's go 234.50 for the clean dollar if we can get it. But who knows, man? If this market goes, we'll get it. If not, we'll be in trouble. Give it to us again, Mr. Wickens.
Guys, we have confirmed. I'm going to throw this up for you and show you that stick around because coming up at 11:15, Evan Gappelberg, I should say, CEO of Nextech AR Solutions, going to join us. If I turn this off, Lucas, can we go to my screen here and we'll show the news once again. Nextech buying $2 million in Bitcoin today with Treasury. So we're going to talk about both Nextech AR and also their purchase of $2 million in Bitcoin. That was news from today. Evan joining us at 11:15, guys.
That is fantastic news. Make sure you stick around for that. I'm going to go ahead and look, we'll celebrate this one on BNGO. Not just because Brennan happened to mention it when I had walked away from it earlier, but also because Brennan the GOAT getting interviews real time. I talked about this, and we talked about some of these smaller names, these small caps, when they start running. When it gets crazy, just walk away from it. When it starts to go parabolic, I understand. Like, look, I don't think it makes sense at those prices. Yeah, I want to jump into the short because I think it should make a correction. But wait for the setup, right? So once it gets above that 110, we just walk away. $1 was a good level. We walked away from that as well. You wait for it to make a top off something that makes sense to you. Once the selling comes in, I just join the party. It comes right down into VWAP. The target was the teens. We got out. Basically, we got out of everything right to our target. If it makes another consolidation and pushes higher, I'll probably at least wait to see it go to that 140 mark. But just sort of in and out like a ninja. If you can do that, it's always the best way to make a trade. It doesn't take very long. From entry point to exit point was just a couple of minutes here. It doesn't always happen this fast, but we're pretty fortunate on bingo as this one is working out for us. I gotta go to this Nikola trade for a second because it's getting a little frustrating. Get those out of my face, Randy. I have no discipline. This guy's, he knows, everyone knows like I have an issue with certain pastries being my favorite, and he just dropped the Timbits right next to me, and there's just no way I can resist it. I have no discipline. If it's in my face, I'm going to eat it. Nikola bouncing back to the upside. If it takes out, and this was the level I got out of my shorts originally, if it takes out 1680, this short will be basically a mixed bag. It'll be flat. It looks like I should have just held the initial short, but I chose to get out and then try to get back in on the other side of VWAP. Clearly the wrong call. I mean, it is what it is. We still had the win on Nikola. If this thing breaks and squeezes through 1725, it might be worth a long just on pure momentum alone.
Okay, yeah, Nikola, again, we're just chilling out with Nikola, and we haven't made a trade since we made that first one on that, Palantir. We may just eventually get out. This is that first short. Oh, actually, this is right where we went short, and we went short early. This is a 1 minute chart. This is 9:08, but look where we got out, right off the open on this move down. And again, without the crystal ball, it's very, very hard to tell that this is going all the way down here, but it does go. I honestly thought, I still think this company's not worth anything. So well, it's obviously worth something, but we'll wait to see how much. I am a shareholder of this, so I mean, I'm just bashing my head against the table for that one. 1603 out there, and then we done. That's why, you know, you got to get out. You got to have outs. I know Neil and I talk about that all the time, having your outs and labeling them. So there we go, right there. And yeah, a good little out back in there. Thank you for the donut. Yeah, and I don't know if I'll have another one, but that was good. And what we've been doing is hydrating ourselves right now. Okay. Okay, Alibaba, I see you. Let's go. We're right here, right now, 70 cents in the money. Let's go. More, more, more. If we can get this, I'm offering in the 40s. We'll see if we can't take that 90 cents here on Alibaba. Alibaba moving without the futures. Go, go, go. Stay here with me for a second. We're going to get these 40s. Can we get it? We are sitting here at 41, and there it is. Did we get it? We did not. It goes to literally, guys, it goes to 40 there before stopping. So we were at 41. We missed it, but there's Alibaba. Great trade on that one, guys. We're cooking up. Like Russell Wilson may be struggling, but no, we are cooking up the profits here today. Alibaba, good trade, guys. What up, B?
How are you going to hate on Russell Wilson? Didn't they just win? I don't know. They just beat the
Who
Rams,
cares?
man. He is cooking it up, but it's always nice to cook up those winners. I just took more in OCGN. Rinse and repeat action whenever you can. VWAP 1, 2, 3 times. We're pulling back into some more shares here. It's worked every single time. The next drop could take it potentially to that 175 ultimate target where I'd be flat. Brendan?
A little bit of news, guys, on one we don't really look at often, but ICIC Bank, which is IBN in New York. You can trade it through IBN in New York, teaming up with Google. So Google Pay and ICIC Bank fast tags. So you can now use fast tags through Google Pay if you have an account with ICIC Bank. So in New York, it's IBN up 2.6% on decent volume, guys, on that news today.
Oh, man. I mean, here we go, guys. Like BFT. I mean, everything today is spicy. As we keep on going, guys. I mean, here's another winner. $1. Remember when it was here? We could probably rewind the tape down here when it was like 10:14, and I was like, I had no idea what this was doing. But this is how you trade. It's risk versus reward, right? Like my risk on this was literally a dime. Like 15.07 we're long at. It breaks 15, I get out, plus slippage. Let's call it 15 pennies or something on that. And then our first 10% is out right away for 20 pennies, then 40, then up and away. And now we're in the money nicely on BFT, guys. So this is not only a stock that we have in our PA, in our longer term account, but we also have this on the show right now for you as it just smokes 16 and all the way up. There's a big winner. Oh yeah, Alibaba, what up, my friend? The money bags just keep on coming back in here. We have 3 negative days in December, I think 4 or 5 in November, and here we go, guys. There goes Alibaba giving us that 40. So whether or not you're trading EV space or Alibaba, let's go, man. We put some in our account last night at 222, and here we go again. Alibaba with another dollar winner. We took 4 on Lemonade, which was pretty good. No, sorry, 111.88. Up to 114.98. So $3 on Lemonade. Just checking back in on that one. The refreshing drink, Lemonade. There goes Alibaba as well, man. Just breaking new highs right here. So look, follow us on Twitter. I just cracked 10K as well. Let's see if everyone else can get there. Big time, guys. Follow us on Twitter where the winners are at. We're posting them up daily, guys.
The other thing, too, is sometimes your best trade is the one that you don't take. For those of you that are watching that ACY, just a second warning. A 20th warning. This stock now down 40% on the session and continuing to fall. So exactly what we're talking about here. Don't get caught holding these things long. It just doesn't make any sense. Let's go to Brennan with Sector Watch.
It is about that time. Let's have a look at the S&P 500, see what's in charge so far today. We are still ever so slightly in positive territory, only 0.1%. So coming back to the downside, and it's all because of this group here, healthcare stocks, leading the way as far as strength is concerned. Really the only group you can see in positive territory and having quite the nice day. ABMD 3.6%, CNC, ZBH there, AMGN and ALXN also in positive territory nicely, but the life sciences, biotech space, basically the whole group leading the way here in positive territory. There are a few outside of that in the red. I want to talk about these though. Both the consumer discretionary group and the tech sectors to the downside today. So this is where the negativity is coming from for the overall market. You can see L Brands over in the corner there, 4.25% leading the way. Gap is here as well, 1.5%. But look at Booking.com and eBay right beside each other, both both 1+% to the upside, trying to offset. But there are a lot of retailers here, guys, in negative territory, really leading the way to the downside. There was Under Armour there. I just saw pop up. We shifted down to the bottom here. So RL, there's Under Armour, UAA or UA 1.8%. Hasbro right beside it. DPZ 3% to the downside. So this is where the weakness is coming from so far, along with the tech sector, PayC 3%, DXC, PayPal's here, CRM as well, all 1+% to the downside. Semiconductors are also weak, leading the way, in fact, for the tech sector. There's Tesla as well. Not tech, but kind of tech, 0.7% to the downside for Tesla today. AMD, Micron, Skyworks is here, all of the semis in negative territory. So outside of healthcare stocks, as I mentioned, we're looking at a little bit of material stocks. There's utilities and consumer staples providing strength as well. But overall, we are higher, 0.14% for the overall market. Guys, back over to you.
Thank you for, we appreciate all the super chats we get. We appreciate all the support that we get, but I want to thank, we just got one. We've got a couple there. Of course, 10X, certainly. I've had a mixed bag on it, to be honest with you. The only thing I've said is that it had some relative strength. That's why I tried not to get burned on it too bad when it made the run to the top at 280 there. But it does feel like, at least for now, it's trying to test this 210 bottom, and this is a level that I like here. If it gets, sometimes it's about just if it breaks down below a certain price, the bulls stop running, for lack of a, that's a horrible pun, but it's for lack of a better one. That's what I'm going to go with. And if the bulls stop running, that's when some of these gap runners, small caps can be worthwhile. The difference here, there is plenty of liquidity on 10X. So in terms of a day trade, you're not as likely to get caught. You have to watch for halts if it breaks the high of the day. But it does feel like it's trying to at least test that 210. I'm going to be shorting it if it breaks that level. Very similar to OCGN. It was the same price that we got the short into 210 at OCGN. That went all the way to 185. It's bouncing now, and I've re-entered that trade. But 10X, I'm waiting for a 210 break.
All right. Yeah, Alibaba. We did it, guys. Code word today. Perfect. So right now it's a perfect day today so far, so that's the jinx. So the next trade, don't take it because I'll probably lose on that one. But there we go, guys. Alibaba, like I said, 235. We weren't going to get out some, but we did. We took that first dollar. Now we're $1.50 in the money on Alibaba. Still going high side there. No stopping this monster from now. So there goes Alibaba to the upside. We used to have code words like pineapple and things like that when we had our fruit salad. Maybe I got to go get that. I don't know if it was delivered today, but we do have catering here, so we're very, very lucky here at Day Trade the World. Oh, someone said, if you guys, I don't know, it'd be too late to do this. We can maybe pan. Someone asked about what are all those empty computers behind you. We're sitting on an office floor of Day Trade the World. So, normally it's a proprietary trading floor. We have like 20 or so, 25 traders at a maximum on the floor, all with us. It's great for the environment. We have Louis from Barcelona office coming through as well. He has his traders, but obviously due to COVID and the restrictions by the province and by Canada basically, and same with you guys, wherever country you're in as well, restricts the hiring and bringing in, not the hiring, but there you go. Thank you, Randy. There's the look. You can see, I don't know if Greg's at his desk. He's there. I don't know if he can hear, but he can give a wave. But right now, he's back there hiding there. And normally that's all full. We miss you guys if you're watching, and hopefully they'll be able to come back ASAP, but that's the trading floor there. And you can have one as well. Visit our sponsor, daytradetheworld.com, to find out more. We have videos also up. So on that note, guys, Palantir's coming back. So we have three longs right now. BOBA $1.50. Oops, that's ABML. BOBA $1.50 in the money right now. BFT $1.10 in the money right now. You saw that one. Candy 56 cents out of the money right now, but we can get out and be fine. And then Palantir, that one coming back in. I'm going to hold this. Where did I put my stop? I actually don't even have a stop anymore. I think we can hold this back to VWAP. Let's just stick with tradition right now on this and go with 25.10. Let me just call down a 3-minute chart here. We only have 10% left. Whoops. Yeah, there we go, 3 minutes. Okay, that's at 25. I want to give it to an even 25, guys? Okay, let's give it to an even 25. The day we're having right now, slipping down 40 cents to me isn't going to do anything. So we'll wait for that 25 and change, but let's be smart and not hold till the cows come home. So there's a view up. Let's save ourselves some pennies. 25.07 breaker on Palantir. Otherwise, man, I really do think we can take 26 out.
Yeah, and sort of speaking of breaks, If you look at the market here, it's actually trying to break in the ES above this 37.35, running to a bit of resistance. That's almost essentially flat on the session. But it's the stocks that are moving that matter, and that's why this is why we go over a watch list. I feel like just about everything that we traded today, and the only exception for me is like that OCGN was on our watch list earlier in the week, and it's been in place, so it almost counts. But you got to stick to what's moving. And then there's the names that Brendan brings to you live during the show that don't make the list. But if we see actionable news, we'll jump into it. BTBT certainly has been in play. I talked about the reason I didn't want to short it. That obviously was a bad call. It was a great short off that. It's the same way we like to take those halt reopens. That would have worked. I'm now looking at this, and you're seeing it base out here at $9. This could have another run. I'm looking to see if it holds this low without making a fresh low off this higher 875 higher bottom. If it can break out 950, this could be a nice little momentum play into that 1040. So file that one away. It doesn't feel like it has the momentum currently to do it until maybe a little bit closer to lunchtime. But I want this one when it comes, guys. So 950 on BTBT. Gonna have the order locked and loaded, ready to go, Bren.
This is not the first time this has happened, guys. This is not the right stock either. I was talking about laser. Here we go. Tesla rumors floating around once again for laser. If you remember, the LiDAR company, they make the sensors for autonomous driving. LAZR off to the races here again. Tesla rumors floating around online again for LAZR.
Didn't Elon basically trash talk? Whatever. I mean, he trash talked the LiDAR, but it doesn't matter, guys. It's getting another ramp up in this stock, and clearly the market thinks there's some juice to this. Okay, thank you very much, Daily Chart. Just quickly go to the higher time frame because it's the first thing I'm going to do every single time. This is 35, 37. Quickly spot a couple of levels here on my 15-minute chart. If we do get any kind of a turn, because it is just speculation, I'd rather it test that second level before jumping into a short. If it pulls back into like a 32, 32.50, you could get like a secondary afternoon type of play. So inside the middle of the range, when it's already gone $3 here, broken out $3, the move actually is about $5. I would stay away from it buying at that high, but 35 and 37 are certainly two levels to the upside. I anticipate resistance.
All right, I don't anticipate. Yeah, we got to watch laser for sure as it is moving around. So a good little call there. Okay, the next thing to look at though looks like BABA. I'm just wondering here about this trade. Obviously, we like the trade, but it needs to come in. We're up in the money right now, $1.50, and I think we could still go. We're going to give this one a little bit more room. Alibaba, Palantir still 60 cents. BFT, we've reviewed our out on this one. We'll be down here 15.80. So that will be our out on that one for a smooth 80 cents on that one, and we've already taken a lot of profit on these names. Like I keep saying, I am really at the day's high right now. You know what's an interesting name here for me? Square. Square right now back down. Like they're in the Bitcoin as well right now. So I mean, I'm long way early on this, but like Square right now down another 4%. We noticed some trading yesterday, obviously 235 down, and the rhetoric behind Square for me anyways is just that it's been so overheated. I mean, PayPal, Square, look at Chewy as well. You guys want to get some more information on some of these stocks? Like, look at Chewy, the darling. I love Chewy. This is why we're in to STIC, Northern Trust there, based on petbark.com, coming with the idea might be ridiculous, gift boxes for dogs, but I think it's like a third of every American household or something has a pet. So yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely worth it to get invested into that. But I'm looking at Chewy right now, and yeah, it's making new lows again, like $95 right back here. I'm going to find out. I'm going to talk to one of my friends, Daniel Shea, who has been on Chewy as well. And look at the daily chart here. We're coming back. We just made back, mind you guys, we're only back to December 16th levels, but we are back. I think Chewy's a buy down here at 75, but let's not hold the bag here. If this breaks any lower, we should probably need to get out. I'm going to be looking to pick up some longs here, but right now, Chewy just fading down. Fade right now. I'm not sure what to do on this one, so that's Chewy.
Speaking of fade, this is day 3 of fuel cells pullback into $10 where it just turned back around. And I kind of thought this would maybe get you down to like a $9 before it would actually consolidate or find a low. It does seem like maybe 10 is going to be in. It's trying to hold VWAP here, and if we do make another push to the downside, I'd probably hold off to like 1060 breaks. If it is going to be a long, I'd throw out 10 even as support and just play it off of VWAP at this point. It just felt like it was a little bit further that this could come back in. We know certainly clean energy is a bit of a play, but this is just healthy retracement, I think, in fuel cell before it ramps up again in potentially in the new year. It's already time for Money Talks. 10:50. Time certainly flies. Let's get to Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Let's have a look at both currencies and cryptos. Threw Ripple up on the chart over there. We'll talk about that in a second. But overall, a little bit of US dollar weakness coming back in once again today, sending a lot of things higher. So we're looking at the British pound, the CAD, and the euro all up about 0.3%. No significant individual news there, but US dollar weakness again coming back into play. We have both the Japanese yen, Swiss franc down significantly today, Australian dollar, New Zealand both nicely higher, a little bit of positive economic data out overnight over in Australia, so 0.8% and 0.5% for both of those. But the big news down here, Ripple today falling off the TV currently, just broke 20 cents to the downside. Day lows as we speak for Ripple, guys, after Coinbase said no more trading of Ripple on their platform. Otherwise, though, crypto's not really doing much. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum basically flat on the day, 26,500 for Bitcoin. Back over to Sean.
Brendan, I want to add ADA to that list. So we're going to add ADA if we have it. I don't know if they have it, Cardano. I think it's a top 5 coin, so they should have it right now. That's the play that I like, ADA in the crypto space. Okay, that's that. Alibaba, and no, I have not bought in like any ADA recently. Cardano, no, I have not. I like that name, and I can tell you why after. I think it's like Ethereum 3.0. Okay, here goes Alibaba to the high side again, man. This is a $2 win right now. We still have this on board, and we're watching it. So hopefully this can go up to the upside as well right now for us. That's Alibaba. Nicola's not doing anything. This VLDR, some of you have talked about that, obviously on some Velodyne on the laser news as well. So 23.30. Let me see this VLDR over here. Hit enter. Hit enter. Okay, there we go. In a second, guys, we can get to VLDR. We will in a minute. There it is. Obviously on that laser news there, making moves to the high side. You could sort of trade either one. I was looking at this bottom right here back on whatever day this was, Christmas Eve. Oh yeah, Christmas Eve was a half day. That's why you see that volume dry up. So what is this level right here? It's also a top right now. 2370, 2380, 2380. So we're going to go long 2380 or so on this name. And there goes Alibaba, cooking it up again, guys. A big win for Alibaba. Look where we're long, guys. 233.52. So Alibaba on a 1-minute chart just keeps on making moves to the high side. There goes Alibaba. It's off to the races. Hopefully you have that with us, guys. Today, honestly, I don't know if we need a new graphic. I'll ask my kid what his favorite superhero is, and then we'll get that. But right now, wow, feeling like Superman today. Hope you guys are as well. What's up, Brent?
So there's a forum online. I was reading a little bit more about this Tesla rumor with laser. There's a forum online called Inside EVs. Some of you may be aware of that, but apparently there was a picture posted on that forum of a Tesla Model Y with a strange sensor on the top of it. So that's where this whole rumor started developing this morning, guys, about both Luminar and Tesla. So Inside EVs, guys.
I mean, this is why Brendan's here, to give you guys the straight goods. And it's just giving you the facts. You know, judge it as you may. A picture to make that connection. It's a bit thin. I'm going to lean into possibly taking this one off that 35 level. I want to see what liquidity looks like when it gets there. There hasn't been too much on the offer. You're seeing very sporadic, like a couple thousand shares here or there. The first time through that, I didn't really see any size in terms of resistance. But if it does go to the 35, I like 35 and 37 for some scalp short trades, and it is close to lunchtime, we like to put those on. Facebook is basically still holding the top end of the range, but the 280 break, it's got to make another push. I'm not going to take it for 50 cents or 60 cents. Facebook is something I want for a few dollars off the 280. That's what we got a little bit earlier. I feel like this is one of those, sometimes the best trades you make or the better trades are when you just simply don't hang on and get stubborn. When taking a breakout or breakdown trade, one of the caveats here, if I'm shorting the absolute low of the day, on Fubo, when it's done a multi-day move down. Now, this was day one, hang on to the break. Give it some time, allow it to matriculate a little bit. Not here. It either breaks and there's just floodgates opening up because of lack of a bid, and then it just cascades to the downside, or you just get out on a tight stop right away. So that's the difference between shorting at an absolute bottom like this, or if you catch it on the first day, you'd certainly, you'd give it 50 cents, 60 cents because the upside is gigantic. Here, if a bid comes in, you're kind of anticipating that, hey, it's certainly possible. It's gone down a few days in a row. This was a bit of a level on the way up. So the risk to reward is fantastic, obviously, because if everyone is bidding on support, if support breaks, great short. But if it holds, don't wait to get out. Just get out right away.
Yeah, I mean, and again, and like you said, Neil, not every trade is going to be a winner, and sometimes it's like absorbing that loss, and that's the one thing that I've learned. Like yesterday, I was buying NEO all the way down, right, until eventually we caught a bottom, but we took hits in all of that, right? So I think that right now what I've done is I've really adjusted the way I trade to sort of like limit that and just find the best trades. Like today, 99 trades. You guys know that I've been up to 250. I've been going crazy. And then today, it's not that we're 10 for 10. We are. But I mean, what we're really, really looking at here is just good opportunities. And we saw today Snapchat. And look, again, this might seem like we're selling something, but we're not because it's free. But our watch list, like, look, Snapchat, you know, one of the biggest trades, I think, for sure here today. Snapchat, you know, whatever. Facebook, exactly. I talked about why I like that as well. Nikola. So far, Snapchat, perfect.
Whoa.
Facebook, perfect. Nikola, perfect. NEO, perfect. Haven't looked at Boeing. BABA, perfect. So, I mean, just as you go down the list, like this is $3 winner, $3 winner. We didn't look at SAP. Nikola's been a big winner for me. NEO, all of these stocks. And then as you go down, AstraZeneca, we didn't look at that. I love Disney. We talked about that 180 break as well. And then NNDM and as it goes. But definitely, guys, morning movers. It's watchlist.tradertv.live. Today we liked it so much, we sent it twice. We added some new names. And look when I got it, 8:12, guys. That's like an hour 20 before the market even opened. So I think that's a legit one there as we go. Oh my God, I missed it. I didn't even put an order out, but there goes VLDR. Oh man, let me find out where I said we would go long there on VLDR. We broke it back down to a couple highs. I think it was a 3-minute chart. Let me just quickly look at this because I'll take it now if it's still good. Yeah, it was this break right here. So yeah, actually we are still right here. This was 23.75. So we're sort of still there. We missed out on 20 pennies, but that was a good break. 23.75. Let's see what VLDR does now if you still have this one. 23.75. I mean, you got to sort of take this risk. 22.50. Like, you got to give this one a buck, guys. I don't know. Let's see what Elon tweets anything else out.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. Look, I'd love to see an update by Tesla. I mean, confirm it, deny it, do something here because rumors are. It's just a tricky one to trade, and I sort of lean into that whole. He criticized the technology before, but certainly Elon's a smart guy, and if he feels it's the best thing, he's going to do it. This TNX, ignore this wick at 210 certainly is support, and if it gets down there, that's the break I'm looking for. But it didn't actually just trade. It's continuing to feel strong, and the longer it holds this bid, the more likely it is you're going to see a bit of a breakout to the upside. That's why I'm not shorting it, even though it keeps putting in these lower highs. It just doesn't feel right to me. Until it's below 210, that's the confirmation I need that this one is coming back in and going to be weak. I'm just going to update you guys on OCGN. I'm going to continue to hold this. It does feel this is not going to be as good as the breakdown trades we had, 1, 2, 3. We took it again off VWAP. I just got a leg out, and only for a 5-cent win because it's really slowing down. The good news is volume is really starting to taper off here. I'll just do this for you guys so you can see. It's usually a pretty solid sign for the shorts here. If it does start to pick up while holding these bids at like 190 and then maybe even that 2 even, not a bad idea to start running to the exit. I want to take some of this off at 205 for a tighter stop and then maybe the rest at that 210 level, just simply because at this time of day, I don't want to be caught with as many shares as they open when it's a better opportunity as initial shorts when it goes. Once it's made 2 tests at the bottom, if it fails a third time, you don't want to get caught with the same amount of shares because each time you follow a pattern, there are more eyes on it. That should be obvious. That's more resistance in the way down if you're short. Certainly that's more people running to the exits and covering if it breaks. So that's why you don't want to be last to exit the gates if you can avoid it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, that's why we get out earlier on some of these plays. And talking about getting out early, if Alibaba breaks 234.50, we will capture that profit and get out there for that buck because we've already taken it in and out once at that level. It goes all the way to 236. We didn't take it. We sort of had, like I said, rose-colored glasses there, thinking it was going to continue to go upside. We're still $1.70 in the money on this one, $1.05 in the money on BFT, and then Palantir's a smooth 50 cents. So we're laughing right now. Just KNDI is laughing at me because I've been holding doing this since like what, 8:30 off this initial boost. Yeah, 8:30, literally 8:30. You don't like to hold trades that long, guys. But for right now, we are ready to go to the big screen, and it's Miss V time. Give it to him, Miss.
Hey guys, European shares are mostly in a positive territory following the rally in US stocks on Monday and Brexit trading deal agreement. Switzerland is up 0.64%, Spain is up 0.42%, France is up 0.54%, and Britain is up 1.9%. AstraZeneca trading in London is up more than 3% as the company's coronavirus vaccine is expected to be approved in the UK this week. That's all with the Europe. Back to the Neil.
So it's interesting enough. I mean, Sean just mentioned KNDI. I go back to look at it, and as I was saying, we mentioned this in the pre-market, and this tends to be my approach when it comes to being late to news. Like, you either get it on the break, like Sean had it on the way up at like a 780. Once I've missed that, I'm either looking for a quick snapback short trade, and if I don't like it, just given the nature of the news or the nature of the space or just a bullish train in that a bullish line of thinking on that stock, then I'm thinking if it comes all the way in, essentially, you can buy back at yesterday's consolidation prices or weekly consolidation prices here around that 725. It's just not a bad sort of value play that if anyone sees, hey, there's more to this, I like this news a little bit better, or it gets that afternoon push, your risk to reward ends up being fantastic, because now if it holds 7 even, any kind of a push in the afternoon can easily take me through 750 to 8 into that range. So that's why I like 25 before. That's why I just got into 725 now. I'm going to go right back to Facebook here because, and the higher time frame is going to be the key. We've already taken a dip trade here. I wanted to hold for an 80 break. That was the plan. I got wicked out. You can get back in at the bottom, but essentially I wait for the break to take it at 280. It never threatens VWAP, so really no concern on the trade just yet. It just broke back above, tested to 28.50. It's continuing the trend up. Because I'm risking back to about $1.25 or so on this particular trade, that's around where my first target is going to be. I tend to go 1-to-1 on the scalp portion of the trade and then just try to hold if I think there's going to be a bigger move. We talked about both the 276 and the 280 level, so two separate trades going on here in Facebook. Obviously, already one of them has worked. The other is sort of remaining to be seen. If anybody asks about that just to give you an update, I don't know why it's not showing up on my quote board here. I'll just have to manually type it in. That's kind of a pain in the butt. It is still halted. This one is news pending, so keep your ear to the ground. I really hope that no one is caught in this trade. We talked about some of these low float flyers, what not to do, how to avoid sort of burning your account and then sort of ruining. You want to avoid trades that can end a career, right? That's the way you think about it, and these can be career enders if you get caught in some of these halting. This is a news-based halt. Certainly, if it opens back up before the end of the show, we'll let you guys know. But it could be the end of day. You never really know when these are going to open. And then DTTW owns a 10% stake. So if you're trading that, watch out. If UU opens up and has a crazy move, DTTW is likely to have an effect. So you've got to know that if you're trading DTTW. That's why we got that to you live to make sure you're not trading blind. You never want to do that. And speaking of, let's go to Brennan.
NNDM, guys, we talked about this one as well a little bit early on this morning, still moving back to the upside all the way back. In fact, we came down to where we ended the day yesterday on NNDM. Remember, there's a big offering. If I expand this, you can see had a huge gap to the downside yesterday on the offering. We gapped higher this morning, came down, tested. Now right back to where we started the day, 8% again for NNDM, guys.
All right, guys. If you can let me know which coming up has the interview on it. One. Okay, so guys, coming up very, very soon, right here, 11:15. Nextar AR Solutions Corp. Look, we got all the big hitters, man. CEOs coming through. We found out $2 million Bitcoin. I want to know if they're about to buy it or if they already have bought it, right? So. Yeah, okay, Brendan will answer these questions. I hear him yelling at me in the background. But yeah, so that's going to be a big stock. We'll call up their symbol. We'll talk about them as well as it gets closer. I just did want to, which is 10 minutes away, so we'll do that in a minute. But I did want to just show you guys, we are out of Alibaba there on that 50 break, and we actually got a good price for, well, we got 41s on a 50 break. So not bad, but again, once it breaks 50, like there you go. Like, so right there was 5 cents. So there's 8 cents again. So sometimes I try to use dark pool orders to get out and see if we can hit some dark pools. But I guess we got 41. So not bad. Out of oh man, this QS, like I've been waiting to get into this name, and the problem with, oh, you know what? Like I'm covering up my time in sales again here, guys. The problem with QS is it's just been so heated and so up. I don't know where the downside is. I'd love to get this one to 75. We did go far down today as 94. So quantum right now, yeah, back down. I like it. That's solid state batteries, man. And they have a nice deal with Volkswagen. So there's something about that for right there. BFT also, we're waiting for this one. Good trade. Get off the daily chart. I don't need the daily chart off here. We're waiting for this level right here, 1580. So when that breaks, we'll get out for an 80-cent win. But it's been a big day, man. Baba just tops it off right there. We do have the interview coming up, but it's been a big day, and I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I hear there might be some issues. Hopefully, we'll get those corrected with Sean's mic. If it's mine as well, let me know in the chat. It sounds like it might be corrected, but our crew is fantastic. They'll get all over it. I mentioned a stop here on KNDI, but I didn't really talk too in depth about targets. I actually left myself some room to be able to buy on a dip because there's a higher low here at 712. So if I can buy in front of that, I'll go ahead and do that. 7 even is still going to be my out. It is just shy of the low of the day here, and I am looking to see if we can retrace into VWAP. That's going to be the nature of the plan. So if I can get some out in front of 750 and then out in front of 770, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I would like to hold at least a piece of this into the afternoon if it's going to make a move, but I'd probably have to get into more shares, either on more consolidation in KNDI or on a bit of a dip here. And if I get more, then I can certainly hang on to it. If I only get the one entry, I don't extend the trade. I just feel like the longer the consolidation, the bigger the pop. If it doesn't give me that same look on the entry point, I don't have to hold on to it. Got to make sure a winner is going to be a winner. Going back over to laser here, I specifically wanted to see if it could test back into 35. I mentioned that I was feeling the short on this as the second push, but if you can't get the price you want, it was going to be $1 away from the high if you shorted this consolidation, or $1.25. That's why I didn't like it. Directionally correct, but you've got to be able to see the trade in terms of execution as well. I did not. It goes $2 here, so it would have worked out. It is what it is. If laser does the same thing like KNDI and gives you a price down at 31, yeah, maybe it's worth a bit of a long. But again, this is all speculation. I'm glad Brennan brought that to our attention. It's essentially a picture on a forum. That's a bit thin. Maybe there's something to it, but I think that's part of the reason why it's starting to come back in here.
Okay, yeah, just looking here at NTAR. This is the symbol and the name that we have coming. Next Tech coming in today. Only 164,000 shares, but you can see up that 2% right now. And again, you know, the reason why we talk about this a little bit anyways is that we do have the daily chart. And this daily chart, I mean, it's been pretty consistent up and down. We got to $9. We'll find out why. 650 on the bottom here is a good little level, and that's kind of where we are now. So coming up, guys, Nextar AR Solutions coming up, and you'll find all about this company and what's up with that Bitcoin purchase they had today. This is what we're bringing you on the show, man. It's the hot fire. Like, I mean, this is brand new as of today, so get in early on this. 165,000 shares is pretty good. It is also, Brennan just let me know, it is also on the pink sheet in case you guys need this. NEXCF. This is a risk. I don't know if we have this in our database. Oh, we do. So there it is, 160,000 shares right now for Nextar AR Solutions, also traded over on the OTC market. So if you're looking to get in and you have USD, then come over here to Pink Sheets. If not, we just gave you the symbol NTAR over on the CSE. So definitely, guys, have a look at that. A great opportunity to get in on the bottom ground.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is why we bring it to you. Just a couple of minutes until we get into that. One name that we talked about here, and it was sort of, you know, we like the idea on Disney. It's definitely got some room to retrace here. It's a test through this 180 high. Now, I know it was shy of that a couple of times before finally breaking through. I like the 181 break if it ever got there. It doesn't feel like that's going to be today, but one of the things I like to do is I keep my list on an iPad just so I don't accidentally throw it away. But if it does make a move or fail to make that move, I have that level filed away for tomorrow or next week, and I don't take it off on my list until I have a reason to. And I don't yet, so I still like that 181 break. But the other thing we talked about was, hey, if it dips back to like a 75 or so, that could be a nice little place to pick up some Disney. The market is starting to go sideways here overall, at least when it comes to the ES. And if that's going to be the case, the bottom pick isn't the worst idea if you like a name. It is in a downward trend, so I would hold off till at least test 176 if I like that 175. So Disney on my radar for the afternoon. No actionable trade just yet, but I love 175 if we can get it. Facebook still holds basically flat. We're up on it, but we don't want to give away the morning's profits by getting too greedy. If it goes back below 78.75, I'll cover this long. Brendan, what's up, bud?
It's been a week of low float, small cap, squeeze type of moves, so why not have this one go as well? Kodak, guys, just popping up here, 2% on a huge volume spike. Just went from 810 to 850 on a huge volume spike for Kodak, guys.
I mean, why not, right? Like, if this is going to be the week of having all of these low float ones go, we actually referenced Kodak when talking about these names, prone to squeezing. Oddly enough, it's one of the few that when it made its bigger squeeze, there was an actual reason behind it that kind of made, look, it made some sense when it went from $2 to $7. It made no sense when it went to 61. And I think we all saw that. If you were trading it, you'll probably never forget it. Everyone was trying to short this because you knew it was going to come down and come down hard. And what oddly enough starts happening in Kodak is sometimes it's news-based, most of the time it's not. It just gets random squeezes when you have other small caps going. I tend to play the fade in almost every single one of these, but if I've already missed a push and the obvious pull, I'm not going to jump into Kodak trading. It's done 2.5 million shares, which is okay. But it's not crazy to me. I think you always are looking for the initial sell, and if you don't get it, you're not chasing it 20 cents when, 20 cents is definitely half of the move. If you chase it that far, your risk reward doesn't make any sense. And if you're against the grain, risk reward is everything. You can start getting a little bit more aggressive when you're playing with the trend. Against the trend, it's not worth it. KNDI, I wanted consolidation and maybe an entry lower. That might not happen here. It's continually grinding higher. It might take a small amount if it breaks 35, but I would much prefer if I could get shares in the 15 to 20 range. Hopefully, hopefully we fixed your mic issues there, Sean. Always let us know, guys, if we have any issues. We'll fix it right away.
Yeah, exactly. And I told them I actually got a new mic piece here, so we're going to hopefully get going. And I just said for Neil or Valeria to yell at me if the mic is bad, so we don't have to let you guys suffer through that. So hopefully now it's good. Let us know on the chat if this is okay. It's been confirmed that it's okay, so hopefully that's good. Fuel cell, people looking at right now, so let's go over there and have a quick look. I was screwing up the name. Guys, it's Next Tech, so if you're looking that up, but the symbol is NTAR.CN over here in the CSE, and we gave you the pink sheet name symbol as well. But here goes Fuel Cell. I don't know, people talking about this. Look, we like the names, and this is just one of those plays again. We talked about this yesterday. Anything that appears to have been heated all of December right now is just getting cooled off a little bit. And that's why I'm saying that if you do believe, like, let me just check out Blink quickly here for us. Like, what is Blink doing today? There you go. Like, just randomly, like, a lot of these stocks, if you like them, they're a little on sale, to be honest with you, in the last couple of days. Not much has changed as far as I can see. Joe Biden's still going to be president. There's still going to be a lot of money pushed into EVs and into energy and whatnot. And we don't talk politics on the show, but I'm just saying, like, there's, the catalysts for a lot of these stocks are still in. So, if you did like it, look at Blink on the pullback. I mean, new charging stations, everything. Just a couple days ago, we went to $56 on that news. Now you're back to 41. I like to get long, off bunched consolidation. So for me, it's not time yet, but if you did believe in the name, just look out for some of these bunched areas. Like, let's go back over to Fuel Cell as well and see, that chart looks dramatically like Blink. I mean, I had to refresh the chart. I didn't even think it was right there. Same thing, 13 down to 10. So that's a 30% drop in a couple days. And then if Fuel Cell gets back to the $8 range, like, this is the thing. If you go long in this area, you have outs. Like, you're not going to like the out, 650, but at least you have outs and you can save a little bit of money on things like that. So that makes sense to me. And you want to talk about something else here, Alibaba. Like, why did I go long 220? I've been talking for a very, very long time about missing, and if Randy was here, he's not right now, but I've been talking about getting Alibaba at this 220 and how mad I was when I missed it on this break right here, because it went from 227 basically up $100. So, whatever that is, 80% up since that miss. And now we get an opportunity to buy it again. So yesterday we dipped into 222.83. We went a little long there to average into our price. We're still caught here at 260, averaged in. Look, if it comes back down to 170, then we'll rethink about this. But my next average won't be anywhere until about 200 if we get down to that. Otherwise, we'll ride this thing to the upside. And mark my words, man, in 6 months, you'll be saying, why didn't we buy more at 222? That's my call. But again, this is not the most confidence I've had because of the Chinese government. And I don't know what they're going to do. If this was a U.S. company, man, you'd be loading up the boat right now. Like the FCC comes down on Facebook or Google and they go up. So you got to watch out for Alibaba. I still think there's a lot more upside in this name. It's not even a bad option to grab some options and get some calls now on Alibaba into the new year here. It'll be expensive. That's the only downside.
Yeah, and I think certainly the only thing I have to add, I talked about before, is just keep the ear to the ground because it's more unpredictable, as Sean mentioned, when you're talking about regulation in China, and certainly we'll have a lot more information. You know what? I'll finish that thought in a second. 10x here. Someone just asked why I don't take longs on those breakouts on some of these small caps. I do sometimes. As a matter of fact, the high day, I said 10x, TNX looked a little bit strong. There was a high break here at 280. I took it. I immediately started failing and just snapped back in. I smelled fail break. I got out of it and then shorted that same price. So the reason why I prefer the short to the long in this spot is there's nothing fundamental to it. What does wrong mean? In the breakout, it's like, okay, well, if it doesn't go right away, I'm wrong. Get out. Fine. But the short trade, if I'm jumping in on a failed break at 280 on something which I don't think has news, and I get a short here at 275, I add to it at 270, my out is if it reclaims the high of the day. Very clear. It breaks it. I'm done. That's a 10-cent hit. Whatever. I wash my hands from it. And if it retraces to VWAP, boom, we just got 3-1 and we're still hanging on to it. So it's more about if I can't define what wrong means or where my exit is, there's no trade for me. Look, you can make a ton of money going long in some of these names, but if fundamentally it doesn't make any sense, I just find it easier to find some of those shorts. It bears mentioning here, as much as this has been a good idea, and I'm going to flash this one here for you. I don't know why it's a perplexed face. Watch out, because I'm a Star Wars fan.
It's a trap.
Every single time this has been a solid short, it is bounced either at 210 or off of VWAP, which it just did here. So thinking that each one of these shorts is going to be a home run and hanging on for the monster win, like from 280 all the way to $1.75, that's crazy talk. That's why I'm aggressively getting out in front of VWAP. It's still in an upward trend. If it holds 210, it's probably still going to do some kind of crazy move in the afternoon, and I'm still going to short 210 because that is the real breakdown price. If it cannot hold that, or if we come back tomorrow and I can short 210, that's going to be probably a better level than just shorting it on the way up, guys. But I get that failed break. It gives me a clear defined entry and exit. That's why I'll take it every single time, and I prefer it to the long.
Okay, yeah, good talk there, and that's exactly what we're trying to do, is give you guys some of our plays, explain them so that we all understand and we're all on the same page. Just again, it's just about education coming through. Here we go, 25.10. We're going to wait for Palantir. A big win on Palantir today from the downside, 24.70, up and away. We didn't get out at the ultimate high, but I'm pretty happy with where we did. So Palantir right now making sense and making some money for that one right there. Okay, Snapchat has faded back in. We did well on this stock today. I mean, if you guys are trading this, you know that as well. And I hope you did as well as we did on this name. But right now we're trying to come back into this level. I want to get longer Snapchat 51.20 if we have anything like that. And there comes BFT. We'll hit the Superman again. We're long in our own account. And look at this trade, guys. Long from $15 downside and up. Good little trade there on BFT. Coming up, we have very, very soon, guys, as I see, we are getting ready right now. Here it is. Nextex, AR Solutions Corp, coming to talk all about their press release. Today I was going to say their AR release, their PR release coming up today, coming right now. We could definitely check that out. This is their symbol on the CSE. NTAR.CN. Where's my CN? There it is. So we're doing okay volume today, 170,000, $6.70. We've checked out a daily chart on this name. And yeah, the days range, come on, let's go. Let's load up. The days range kind of just sitting here right now. This is a great opportunity. We have 625 on the downside. You can always watch out for that. VWAP up here at, the 50-period moving average right now at 721. So we're getting close. Also, we talked about them being on the pink sheet. So definitely check them out. Next Tech AR Solutions coming up with Brendan, guys.
Oh, so we are ready. Let's, without any further ado, Sean already teed it up. You guys are waiting anxiously for it. So here's our guest of the day. Let's go to Brendan at the desk.
Hey guys, yeah, really excited. We brought you the news right at the beginning of the show. In fact, I showed you this press release. If we could throw up my screen there real quick, guys, I'll show you this first. Yeah, Nextech announcing today. In fact, there's the Global News Wire release, 2 million in Bitcoin purchased with Treasury. And just like that, we bring on Evan Gappelberg, CEO of Nextech AR Solutions, to tell us about this. And what we're hearing, Evan Gappelberg, good to see you. Welcome to the show. First time on the show. Great to have you with us. This is an initial investment into Bitcoin, as stated in the PR release today. Tell us about your plan here.
Sure. So our symbol is NEXCF on the OTC. And if you look at what's going on in the world today, all the central banks are fighting COVID by printing huge amounts of money. Trillions and trillions of dollars are being printed. And so in a large sense, the dollar is being debased. And, I was looking at my bank account, and we're getting 0.5% interest, which is basically, getting zero. And yet our purchasing power goes down, every year. As a public company CEO, I have a fiduciary responsibility to my investors to try and increase shareholder value and protect our assets over the long term. And so Bitcoin does that really, really well. And if you look at Bitcoin versus something like gold, gold has been the safe haven store of value. Gold has roughly a $10 trillion global market capitalization. Bitcoin has like a $500 billion global capital marketization. And so when you look at that, there's a lot of room for Bitcoin to play catch up to gold. And, some people are saying that Bitcoin's going to be worth $500,000 from Nextech's perspective. The fact that Bitcoin's at 27 or 28 means that institutions are now buying. Guggenheim is now buying. Stanley Druckenmiller, Soros' protege, has indicated he's buying. Mass Mutual put $100 million in. I mean, all the institutions, the smart money guys, are buying into Bitcoin, not because they want to trade it. That's not why they're buying it. They're buying it to park dollars, so that the dollars that they're investing versus, having it sit in treasury and erode every year in value actually keeps up with inflation and potentially even gives you some kind of a positive return. That's the rationale behind it.
I love the fact that you mentioned a hedge for your shareholders, which is a great concept for people to start thinking about, as we've been discussing on the show. I mean, you mentioned a few names that are starting to get into Bitcoin, as in that purpose. PayPal, another one. Square, another one that we talk about almost on a daily basis, Evan. Now, when it comes to the initial investment, you're obviously implying that there might be more to come here. We had recent all-time highs in Bitcoin just on the weekend. We're coming off of that now, a little bit of a pullback. I mean, I don't want to get too technical about the actual price of Bitcoin here, because that's not the point. But if there were to be more to come, when would that happen?
So let's just first back up, because you brought up an interesting point. There's more than 1.1 million Bitcoins, or over $30 billion worth of crypto assets held by a myriad of companies. And so, it's kind of like the genie's out of the bottle, where you mentioned Square and PayPal, but, MicroStrategy, there's a whole, MicroStrategy put $1 billion into Bitcoin. That's basically their whole market cap went into Bitcoin. Now, from Nextech's perspective, again, we look at this as a way to get a return on our cash that's sitting in the account. As our cash position grows, our Bitcoin position will grow with it. Again, as CEO, I have a fiduciary responsibility to my shareholders, and I'm the largest shareholder. I don't like to see a zero or negative rate of return on my cash. Why should we be penalized for being successful? It should, that doesn't make sense to me, and that it really shouldn't make sense to our investors. our businesses are doing very, very well. Our augmented reality businesses, which is, the business that we're in is augmented reality. We have a number of different divisions, our AR for e-commerce division, our AR for advertising, AR for events, virtual events, live events. So we have a hybrid platform. All those businesses are throwing off cash. And instead of the cash going into, fiat currency, the dollar, it's going to migrate into more Bitcoins as time goes on, because Bitcoin is the only sure way, in my opinion, and I'm not alone in this opinion, in preserving our equity and preserving our value and potentially growing it.
Currently listed, as you mentioned, NYSE on the OTC markets, also here in Canada. However, a recent application to get an uplisting to the NASDAQ. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we are uplisting to the NASDAQ capital markets. We qualify, we've been in discussions with them for a number of months, and we think we're very, very close. We think we're on like the 1 yard line as far as getting listed on NASDAQ. We've also been conditionally approved to uplist in Canada from the CSE to the NEO exchange, which is a senior exchange on par with the TSX. Not many people know the NEO exchange. I didn't know the NEO exchange, 2 months ago, but I know them now, and I'm super excited. It's a senior exchange, like I said, equivalent to the TSX, somewhat on par with NASDAQ in Canada. They only have about 100 companies there, and so they're rolling out the red carpet for Next Tech, which is really nice. And they're, introducing us to all of the players that they know within the Canadian market. So we're super excited for 2021 with an uplist to the NEO exchange. Institutional investors will be able to buy our stock on both borders, meaning not just in Canada, but also in the US. Obviously, with NASDAQ, our exposure will go up exponentially. And we've already been contacted by institutions that want to participate in our stock, but they're kind of just waiting around for NASDAQ.
It's a fantastic concept and a very interesting space, given the time as everyone sits at home doing a lot of online shopping, using this technology almost on a daily basis. We will have a further discussion when it comes to the actual company, the divisions of the company, and the products that you supply. I wish we had more time. Evan Gappelberg, CEO of Nextech AR Solutions. A pleasure to have you on for the first time, and we hope we can do this again real soon.
Thanks. See you again soon.
Great stuff. There we go, guys. A look at Nextech AR Solutions. Again, listed NEXCF on the OTC markets. If you have access to the Canadian markets currently, NTAR on the CSE, going to be, as Evan was mentioning, uplisting to the NEO exchange very, very shortly. We'll have Nextech AR back real soon, guys.
Great.
You'd never know that, like Brendan, getting this guest for us real time. And look, you get an announcement like that. Everyone's following the crypto space. We're talking about it on a daily basis. So it's important to us to make sure that if we have a chance to get you a heavy hitter who can give you some insight and some actionable news that just came today, of course, with their purchase, and to get those thoughts, that's what we're going to try and do for you. Like Brendan mentioned, it is here currently on the CSE. If you are somehow trading in Canada as well, it's going to be going to the NEO exchange. You've probably seen us talk about the NEO exchange a little bit. We've had a couple of other names that have come there. There's not much time left, so all I'm gonna simply say to you is 10x. I'll go right back to it. I still like a 210 break. It does go further. I almost have nothing left, and I will be basically flat. I'll have less than 10% of the position. If it goes to 210, it does feel like it wants to continue to sell off, but it has not broken that trend until 210 goes, and I will be going short in a new trade. If that happens, if it takes off the top, in the afternoon you get like a 3 break. It may be worth it for the momentum play, but that would be strictly a momentum play here. I don't know if you have any final thoughts here, Sean, but I've gotten a peek at what the national day is, and this one is near and dear to my heart. Ms. V?
Thank you, Neil, and hey guys, thank you very much for joining us this morning. I hope you enjoy your trading and wish you a great rest of the day. Please, let's finally get 4,000 of likes. So if you didn't like this video yet, hit thumbs up right now and let's celebrate holidays together. And yes, guys, this is super yummy. Happy National Pepper Pot Day, everyone.
So
Pepper pot. Okay. Yeah.
pepper pot. I mean, Shauna, you might know. I mean, pepper pot is definitely a dish that lots of West Indians will make. In my family, I have several aunts and uncles that make a good pepper pot. One of which was the absolute best, unfortunately. And again, I'm getting a little emotional because we lost her this year. But it is one of those things, like sometimes good food, it's about the memory as much as it is the taste. We're literally talking about that this morning, Sean, and pepper pot's one of those. It's like a wholesome thing, but I get a warm feeling every time I eat it. If you've never tried it, check it out. I don't know how that even happened because we're talking about this with coffee this morning.
Oh, right.
Sometimes coffee's good because you had it in a good cafe, right, Sean?
Yeah, that's what it was. Oh, yeah, we were talking about that. About being in Italy. When we were there, we talked about just a couple years ago, I was it last year? I don't know, was in Paris, roaming those streets. And yeah, I said, like, you have like a little espresso in the streets of Rome or something, and it never tastes better, right? I think it's a lot of psychological. And that's another great example. Pepper pot. Try it if you haven't. Very, very tasty. Adjust the spices as you see fit on that one. But look, a great interview. Glad to have that. I'm a big fan of crypto. You guys already know that. I've been in this game for a while. Nice to see all the money coming back in on that. So I think crypto goes, he said 500,000. Like, okay, but I don't know if it gets there. Point is, crypto needs to be in your portfolio, and it's in mine. Put it in yours. Let's go.
Before we get out of here, we have to mention this. We talked at long wind, and we're not trying to get preachy, but on some level, we're trying to educate people, as Sean always says. You just opened back up at $6. It was a news-based halt. And we talked about all the reasons to be cautious in it. You'll see zero executions on my part, even though there was one shot at a short, but even I didn't want to take it because of certainly the risk of getting caught in a halt. It is open back up. And it just got trimmed by 50%. So hopefully you can learn to stay away from these, or at least wait until there are actual trades in them. We just want everyone to be safe. Again, these can get very, very dangerous, these low fold stocks. With that, it is time for us to get out of here. It's been a fantastic day. I mean, shout out to Brendan for getting that fantastic interview on. It was very topical. We all enjoyed it here. For the entire team, for Miss V, for my man Sean Katina, looking good in the lumberjack outfit, but it's not. He was saying
it's not red and black lumberjack with a hat to match. But I told the wife that we need that red and black lumberjack with a hat to match. Put in the chat if you know where that's from. If you don't, look it up.
I'll zip because I can't say it. I don't know if Brendan knows it. I'm going to guess he does not. But for Brendan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.